Hi, I'm Bill Corcoran Jr. This is the On the Stacks podcast.
Oh yeah, whoa, look, they can never keep me down, I'm going, and if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up.
I was working at Yelp at the time. I was trying to continue doing more like writing work and global marketing, because I had come back from Germany where I was working for Trivago, and I was just trying to get any work because if you can make it in Düsseldorf, you can make it anywhere.
That's what they say, right?
I've heard
That's
that.
the saying.
I saw a bumper sticker on the highway.
So
that was my
Franz,
that was yours. That was my
car.
Got it. Yeah.
Franz Sinatra said it, I think.
Today, I'm chatting with comedian and copywriter Nick Tonery and New York City creative and co-founder of Burn, Jimmy T. Martin. This episode is brought to you by the Pest Rangers. Finding insects in your home can be a real pest. I know I felt that way when I discovered termites living rent-free in my house. But thanks to the team at the Pest Rangers, I'm no longer bugging out over this issue. So if any creepy crawlers are cramping your style, there's no ifs, ands, or bugs about it. You gotta call the Pest Rangers. For more information on how to rid your home from unwanted pests, call the Pest Rangers today at 570-826-1114 or visit them online at thepestrangers.com. This episode is brought to you by Kavanaugh's Grill, one of my favorite places to eat and drink in any PA. They've got one of the best outdoor patios with 13 TVs and over 20 beers on tap. You can also dine inside at this cozy Irish-style pub where your beer never goes empty. Did I mention how delicious their food is? Their in-house smoked brisket, barbecue ribs, and wings are to die for. So grab your friends and have a drink on me at Kavanaugh's. Mention code STACKS for one free draft beer with purchase of any entree when you dine in. Located at 163 North Main Street in Mountaintop, Kavanaugh's is open at 4 p.m. during the week and 12 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday during football season. Dine in today at Mountaintop's only Irish-style pub. This episode is brought to you by Burn, the fitness company behind the Today Show approved Burn board. If I'm being honest, working out can be a real chore, especially as a new dad in desperate need of sleep and cardio. Burn is founded by NEPA native Jimmy T. Martin, and his Burn board offers a low-impact core and cardio experience unlike anything I've done before. They have hundreds of on-demand workouts that are great for beginners, seasoned athletes, and out-of-shape podcast hosts who love supporting small businesses. My wife and I use it pretty frequently throughout the week, and it's honestly a great way to burn a ton of calories without burning a ton of cash. Not to mention, it's a great tool for skiers, runners, wrestlers, and hockey players. Jimmy is offering all On the Stacks listeners 15% off when they use the code STACKS15. Visit theburn.com today to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15 at checkout. Again, that's theburn, THEBRRN.com to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15. It's time to get on board today with Burn. What's up, podcast? This is the first episode in the brand new Blue Door studio protected by Ritchie Security Solutions. And I got two awesome guests here today. Well, actually just one awesome guest, Nick, and he brought his friend Jimmy with him.
That's right.
So, Nick, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, and Jimmy.
Yes, a friend of Nick Tonery.
This is my friend. This is my friend Jimmy.
Yeah,
I'm Nick.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. I'm pumped to have you guys both here.
Well, cheers to that, team.
Cheers.
We're gonna have to get another one of those for you, Nick.
Salute.
Salute. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Are we chugging or what's going on?
No, it's entirely up to you.
No, we're not in college or middle school.
We're like adults
We're not in
now.
middle school anymore. Yeah.
We're adults.
Yeah. Right.
We're just forever students.
That's right. Yeah. So I didn't wear the hat. I feel like I'm out of the loop on the hats.
That's okay.
We only have 3 on the table.
But I didn't because, like I said, I gotta give a shout out to my barber, Red's Barbershop.
There you go.
Sarah Potsko for giving me the haircut right before the show.
Do you have a specific like one on the sides, 2 on top?
I don't
what's
know.
that? No.
No, she just knows what to do.
Cool.
Yeah, you a lot of trust.
I don't have much hair.
Yeah.
But like you have nice hair.
Oh,
you so
don't even
much.
get. He will.
His hair.
His Sicilian
Wow.
background. Don't even.
Guys, please continue.
You've got nice hair.
He's got like the late Robin Williams, like
No,
sort of
I
quantity
don't.
of like a forearm hair. Yeah, you do.
No, this is fine. Robin. You know why Robin? You grow a lot of hair when you do a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
And that's what Robin did.
Robin, right? Exactly.
Me,
no,
this is just natural.
No, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is cool, man. This is exciting.
Well, congrats. I mean,
look at this place.
Great upgrade. You know, Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of upgrades all around.
I like it, man. It's great. The blue door. I mean, literally, it's the door.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, you talked me into,
Yeah,
getting,
I think talked you into is a kind way of saying it.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
You actually twisted my arm.
Kindly
very hard.
forced
yeah,
you. Yeah.
So we actually have a real blue door now. Like it's not just against the wall, and
It's great.
we got more space now.
It's good.
Yeah, we got more space.
A lot more space.
It's really
What is this? 200 square feet?
10,000.
Yeah, dude.
No, just the room.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Just the room.
Yeah, just the room. Yeah, it's like like 200.
It's good.
Yeah,
How do you feel? Do you feel like a different person?
I do.
Do you feel like this is a
It's like
different show?
it's like a whole new show.
Yeah.
It is a whole new show.
It is a whole new show.
It really is. And I said it in the last episode, but for the last 2.5 years, I've been doing this show at my family business, Corcoran Printing, and I said it in the last show, but I'll repeat it. I've been doing it there. Thanks to my dad. Shout out to my dad for letting me operate there for free. For 2.5 years. And then the joke I tell everybody, I know Jimmy's already heard this, is that like it's like I was that kid living in my parents' basement, before I grew up, and then it's like now it's like I got my own place. I moved out. It's like I moved out of my dad's. It's like I moved out
your place.
Yeah, I moved out of my dad's basement, and
Right,
we're
right.
like this is like legit now. So
Well, congratulations.
Have you
man.
slept here yet?
the last 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say your wife seems very happy. I mean, I was like, yeah, so something must be changed at the house.
Well, see the couch.
There you go.
That's actually
Oh my
a
God.
pull-out
On the
bed.
stacks on the couch. On the couch is your spin-off show that you're having about
coming up after. Yeah.
when your wife
Just
kicks
like
you out
one
of the house.
sheet of paper as a blanket. It's just like rigid.
Yeah.
And also, thanks for the $500 check when we walked in the door. I mean, like
You're
you're
welcome,
just
yeah.
passing out the money. I mean, like
I
damn.
thought we weren't going to mention this.
Okay, it was $1,000, but
Printed on the perfect
Yeah.
paper.
yeah, no, this is great. Thanks for having us. I mean, Nick's a good buddy of mine, and he was really kind to take time off of work to come in from New York City.
Yeah,
with
which
me.
by the way, you guys came from New York and New
Yeah.
Jersey, so that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any reason to get out and come to this area is awesome. I mean, the pizza's bomb.
The best.
People are cool.
That's right.
We're gonna be hitting up Harvey's Lake tomorrow.
That's it.
Shout out to Harvey.
Harvey in the lake.
Nice.
Nobody would say that, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Harvey.
Everyone's like, yeah, that guy's not from here.
Yeah, that guy's a
Look,
moron.
I'm gonna say it first. I want to open up a ice cream place. I mean, look, there's so many great ice cream places. We went to
Dude, Jimmy,
to
are you ready
to Curly's?
Dude,
I'm gonna tell them.
Do you have the domain for this yet?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Harvey's Lick is gonna be my ice cream store. Look, it's gonna be like alcoholic ice cream, so like little Baileys with, the idea sounded
Harvey's Lick.
really
This
good.
is
in my
going
head.
well. This is
yeah,
going
yeah,
very
yeah,
well.
yeah. Harvey's Lick though. Yeah.
Harvey's
So
Lick.
it's a liquor store and it's spelled L-I-Q.
Yeah, right.
There you
Harvey's
go.
Lick.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and for those listening also, they may remember Jimmy's voice from episode 55 of
55,
this podcast.
that's
So
right.
actually, we're just gonna probably cut Jimmy's camera off because he's already been on the
I've
show.
already been on the show. You don't need
he's
to.
already, yeah, he's
you don't
already.
need
But, he got me here. He drove.
I drove.
And
we were listening to some bomb ass. So I have a 2004 Honda Civic because I'm an adult, and we were listening to just CDs because it's one of those cars that has like
CD player.
CD player. You
What is it, 2004 Honda Civic
Civic.
LX?
There's nothing
Oh, no.
Lux about
No power.
it. Yeah,
No
right.
power,
No power.
yeah.
No power windows. You tear your rotator cuff trying to roll the window down. It's great. We were listening to a little Lifehouse, a little No Doubt,
Lifehouse, man.
some John Mayer,
Like an actual CD.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the actual album from the artist, or was it a burned CD?
No. So I had burnt CDs.
Jimmy paid money for these albums. And they were all scratched badly.
I did not take care of them whatsoever. I'm so upset. Yeah, but it was just great. Like to be able to go back in time.
No Doubt singles.
Oh my God, Gwen
Yeah,
Stefani.
little-
it was-
Wild.
yeah,
Gwen Stefani can sing.
yeah.
On the Stacks will be back in a flash after a word from our sponsor.
One of the areas that we see so many major claims with today are motorcycle accidents. And the problem is that auto drivers just do not respect motorcycle operators. Auto drivers have no sense as to how much time it takes for a motorcyclist to stop their motorcycle. The other thing is, auto drivers have no sense as to how far away a motorcyclist is when approaching them at an intersection. This is why when, unfortunately, an accident like this happens, the motorcyclist needs an attorney that knows the experts that can talk about motorcycle operation. If your case goes to trial, the likelihood is that whole jury panel will be auto drivers. So what you need is a good attorney that knows these issues and knows these experts and has the experience in trying motorcycle cases.
And now we're back on the stacks. So you guys were
pipes.
singing together on the way.
Yeah.
Were we?
Oh,
Yeah.
blasting the tunes and
And that was before we had our Curry's coffee. So
oh my God, Curry! Shout out Curry
we were
Donuts,
popping.
man.
Yeah.
You know, growing up in this area, right? You know, I grew up in 44, went to Valley West High School, and Nick's been back here several times since we've been best friends, and
Besties.
Literally started out as best friends. Like usually, you graduate to a best friend status. We were immediately best friend status, and I can't wait for Nick to tell the story about how we met. But you know, I wanted to show him everything. I wanted to show him, you know, the sort of VHS tapes of when I was in my boy band in high school, Diversity, 5 white guys doing NSYNC cover stuff. That's a whole nother story. But, you know, I wanted to show him, you know, where the magic happens and, you know, show him about the pizza, the coffee, the Harvey's Lake, all the secret spots. So Nick is...
This place is a real slice. There's so many good things here.
Yeah, totally. And in Jimmy's episode, we started it off. I don't know if you've listened to it, Nick, but in the beginning of the episode, we actually started it off by Jimmy and I both telling our most embarrassing, because we're all martial artists here, by the way, all three of us, which is a very
This is
interesting,
a pretty dangerous room.
You're both black belts, though.
That's right.
Which I'm a little, you know...
Yeah,
Jimmy gets really caught up on this.
he does.
It's just
He was only a Division I NCAA athlete, you know. Like,
yeah.
Wrestling.
But
for fighting for fighting sport.
But we started off the episode telling our most embarrassing karate stories. I pissed my pants. Jimmy farted.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. So
Wait, at the same time, you guys were
no different
You guys were
different times.
You guys were doing a kata.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, yeah, different times, different places. But you know,
Okay.
so you know, it's your turn now to share your
Yeah.
embarrassing.
I think I got a good quick one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been a class clown. You know, even way back in that day. I think I was at a Jimmy Pedro tournament. So if you guys aren't familiar with Jimmy Pedro, he was a bronze medalist in the Olympics. Silver? Bronze,
I think
right?
96.
He's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
He's put on a bunch of amazing programs. He's got a great school, and you know, kids travel to train with him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So, you know, to be invited to some of his tournaments, you know, like anybody can go, but like to fight with his kids was a real deal. So I remember getting on the mats, and I was doing pretty well at this point. I think I was probably like 16 or 17, and brown belt. And oh my God, I remember like, you know, bounding on the mat where I'm about to go have a match, and I turn and look at the kid next to me who I'm going to be competing against. And I see Jimmy Pedro slapping the mat, just cheering on, you know, one of his students, and he's just like screaming out some moves and things to do. I just turned to the kid who clearly trains with Jimmy too, and I'm like, what the fuck does this guy know? And the kid just looks at me, and he just, like, you could see, like, he's like, now I have a reason to kill him. And I lost. And, you know, it was like one of those moments where like my dad was like filming with the VHS and just kind of like put it in his lap. So then, I don't know if that's like an embarrassing moment or a proud moment, but
I think your dad was more embarrassed.
yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. He's like, this is the last tournament we go to.
Yeah.
No, he loved pushing martial arts onto me. He lived vicariously through box. I was a boxer. I was an undefeated amateur boxer. I had a great boxing career. And then with judo, I was a loser forever. And then it just turned on, and I was a killer. Wow. It was really good.
Just like that.
Just like that. Well, you know, the school I went to, they were, you know, Kodokan judo, like sort of old school, no promotions, doing everything.
Where was this? Where was this at?
This is in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
This is at Brockport, SUNY Brockport. They had a really good judo program. It's called Renshinkan. Dr. Sashio Ishida, his daughter, Janet Johnson, she was my teacher. And but Dr. Ishida, this dude was a physics professor at Brockport, and he was, you know, in World War II, he was a Japanese kamikaze pilot who didn't have to fly. Legit. He was in the Navy.
Wow.
And he fell in love with an American woman, moved to America. He was an 8th Dan when he died. He was the highest, like one of the highest, and he was Kodokan.
Wow.
Super cool dude. He was so, you know, he was old, so like the way that he moved around the mats was like really not good. His hip was really messed up, and then he got one of those hip surgeries. He had like the way he said it, he's like, now I have a 35-year-old hip. And he was on the mats again, and you're just like, what, dude, you're 80. And then, yeah, he was amazing. He was the coolest, and he wouldn't let anybody like write his story. It's kind of sad because like he had some cool stories. He's basically, like a judo Bruce Lee in a way,
Is anybody like continuing the school? Like anybody?
Yeah, his daughter Janet and her husband Don, they still teach. So they teach at the school. You can take judo through like the Brockport program,
What Don is Don?
I think Don might be 4th Don.
Yeah.
Yeah. Janet's 5. Yeah, she's an Olympic. She's an Olympic referee. I mean, man, they might be higher now.
Gotta be.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
When you get to those numbers, it's pretty hard.
It's really interesting because Ronda Rousey's mom was, I think, I don't know if she was on the Olympic ladder, but she was
she competed in the Olympics,
class.
right? Yeah.
And then I think Ronda got she got a bronze. I'm not sure what games that was, but but yeah, I mean judo. I mean I was doing judo with Nick for a little bit.
Is that how you guys met?
Oh no, tell him the story. Nick.
Also, shout out to Oishi Judo in
West Village in New York City. How old is Oishi? He's like in his 80s.
Yeah, he's up there too.
Oh my gosh, he's incredible. He's incredible.
Jimmy and I met through ClassPass, which is like a gym membership thing.
I thought you were
back
gonna
in
say
the day.
Tinder.
Tinder. We both swiped right on fitness.
ClassPass is a way for they were recently acquired by MindBody. It's just like a booking system where you
How long ago was this? 2016? We met in 2015?
2015. Yeah, 2015. So we have our 7-year anniversary.
Come on.
I gotta check.
We'll
the
celebrate.
app.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw a party, but it'll be a judo themed party. But it was so ClassPass is a way you can book classes. There's like a membership and stuff like that. They started out with good intentions, but then like really like ruined businesses and became a little bit nasty with how they did prices. That's a whole nother.
Well, we got to meet each other.
So shout out to ClassPass for initially bringing us together.
We both signed up for a Krav Maga Academy class. It was just like groundwork on a Thursday night. So that's where the meet cute started, if you will. Jimmy was in the elevator. We had to go up to the 6th floor. I caught the elevator because he held it.
Very nice.
And
very nice of you.
He's got headphones in. He's listening to some
like Childish Gambino
get pumped up music, right?
Get around that.
Elevator door closes, and I wait until the door closes. I wait till we're alone, and I just turn to him and I go, "You ready for battle?"
So imagine, like,
you did not know each other.
I did not know each other. And I was like, this is my first impression of going to I want to show up. I'm a former D1 wrestler. I'm like, okay, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to like show up and like look and be the part, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a hot breath on my neck, and I'm like, kind of like, what the heck's going on?
Heck?
And this guy, and like as if he's like auditioning for like 300 the sequel, like comes up to and says, "Are you ready for battle?" And I just like broke out like laughing because it's like it was the most
what else do you do?
disarming thing.
I mean, one of my techniques on the mat and off the mat is if you laugh, you lose. So I love to make people laugh because then I win. You know
that and pulling chest hair, which you're very good at.
Listen, Dr. Ishida taught me that.
I mean, he knuckles chest. I mean, he pulls out.
Dr. Ishida says pulling
techniques.
armpit hair, pulling chest hair.
Yeah.
As long as the ref doesn't see it, it's fine. He taught me that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've been in love ever since. It's been a great.
We ended up teaching groundwork at the Krav Maga Academy. We didn't have to rely on ClassPass anymore.
Yeah.
And we would just show up. We would train, and we had a good time. We made a lot of friends there.
And he
beat a
told me,
lot of people up.
He told me that he was in comedy, and I was like, oh, I'm in the improv and sketch comedy scene in New York, and
yeah. You showed me your butt as a stand-in for Jason Sudeikis.
Oh yeah, I was
SNL.
butt of the joke for this. It was called this.
Jimmy's
sketch.
like, maybe you recognize my work.
Yeah. It was a sketch called Just Friends. It was with Sudeikis, Sandberg, and it's super silly. They needed a double, and because I wear obnoxiously short shorts all the time, they were like, oh yeah, this guy's already we got this
booked.
Solid.
Yeah, so it was fun. Just trying to show him briefly like some of the stuff that I did, just hoping that he would like me even more than he did in the elevator. So, but it's interesting because like there are a lot of people that we meet in the jiu-jitsu community, and just that when you're a wrestler, there's a certain mentality, right? It's very like domineering, and what we learned, like the most dangerous guys and gals are like so like unassuming.
Oh yeah, I feel like the people who are the best at those sports are they're not dangerous. You don't see them ever seeking violence or seeking any like danger or anything like that. It's just kind of like They go, they train, they have the super intimate moment. They get better at whatever it is they're doing. I don't know if they're like staying away from that violence by being close to it in that regard or something.
Right.
I don't know. It's just kind of like.
But that was the beginning of a real nice thing, and we just start hanging hard, man. I mean, hanging out hard.
My wife told me the other day that she said we would stay up on the phone late at night, like as if we were like little, early dating.
Teenage girl.
My stomach was my stomach was on the the bed. My legs were like
no, you hang up.
flapping.
No, you hang up first, Jimmy.
You hang up.
No, you hang up first. I'll see you at Krav Maga tomorrow.
I mean, it's hard to connect in a city where everybody has their head down and looking on their phone. I mean, it was really nice to meet somebody that kind of shared this, this passion for comedy, passion for martial arts, just passion to like connect with people from many different walks of life. And, Nick, you were a few months into having moved from Germany.
Yeah, man. I feel like, that was early in 2015. So I had just moved from doing 4 years and like a couple months in Düsseldorf, Germany.
Like right out of college, you like just went right there.
I graduated college. I was dating a German chick, and when I graduated, she was like, "Do you want to move to Düsseldorf?" And I was like, "Yeah,
sure.
I'm not doing anything else." And I told my parents, and they were like, "Yeah, you should go, dude." So I moved like $300 in my pocket, which with the exchange rate back in 2011, it was like €3.
Yeah.
It was tough, but having a support system on the other end, just getting there, super fun. I ended up working for a couple of like tech companies. Like there was like a recruitment agency that like I would sell German engineers to Ford Motor Company in Essex, so in England. So like there would be these like super amazing developers, and they were writing programming that was like machines that would touch car seats, and they would just like say, "Yeah, they're good," But they were all like,
would they say it like that?
No, but like no.
Yeah,
the coding was all good, but the people, the devs, they didn't speak English, so they'd be like, "Hansen Gluck, Nick, help me get to the work."
That's pretty good.
And I did.
That's
I
good.
would. Yeah.
That was good.
Very good.
And I did. I helped him get the work, and that was cool. So going to like London all the time, but
So what'd you go to school for?
So I studied communications
for fun. He went to college.
Well,
for fun.
kind of. I got accepted to Ithaca's Park Film School, and I was like, "Oh, this is it." At that time, that came with a Conan O'Brien 6 month, or 2 month or 6 month internship or something in New York City when he was in New York,
like the NBC like Page program.
Yes,
essentially. Yeah,
it was, and I was like, "This is gonna be it." I'm so funny. I'm so funny and good looking. I'm
the best.
I'm really good
Yeah.
at everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm a black belt. Yeah. So I didn't need to meet Jimmy yet, but so I had that option. Ithaca gave me no financial aid, and pretty expensive school. It's no George Mason where Jimmy went to, but
that's right.
but well, it might be actually. I don't know. Yeah. But I was looking at like after graduating there with no financial aid, Park School was a little bit more, living on campus, whatever it was, books. I crunched the numbers, and it was atrocious. So I'm, listen, shout out to everybody who's paying off their student loans. I hope that our president can take all that away. That would be cool.
That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, $10,000.
Not to bring politics into this, but that would be cool, right,
cool.
everyone?
Joey B. Yeah.
So didn't go there. My mom said, go to St. John Fisher College in Rochester, where my mom's a professor. So I got tuition reimbursement going to Fisher, liberal arts school, pretty small, like maybe 1,000 kids at any time, young adults. And I studied communications. I took enough philosophy classes. I got a philosophy major, and I got an arts minor, which my mom is the head of the arts minor. So I just did it for MJ. That's my mom, Mary Jo.
That's right.
But yeah, beyond that, like I had a great little college career. I lived at home, like drove in with my mom on occasion because she was going to teach classes.
So funny.
I love my mom. Shout out to MJ.
Shout out to MJ.
Shout out to MJ. Shout out to Pete too. They're still together. They just had their like 46th anniversary the other day. I don't know if it's that much. It's probably a little less.
Well,
but doing that program, learning about advertising, learning about public relations, it really did kind of connect me to the world of advertising. And it's like, this is a thing I could do. This is a thing I could do. And it's so weird because my dad worked in advertising for years, And he wanted me to get into it because he hated it. And he was like, you can change how people interact with this, Nick. He wanted me also to be a politician.
You want you to change the industry, basically.
He wanted me to be a lobbyist so I could like infiltrate and like do good in the world. I'm like, Dad, I'm your secret agent. And that's why you're going to be a judo expert too. He got me into judo too.
Yeah, you need that as a secret agent. You need that.
I think he was trying to make a super soldier for advertising.
Right.
Well, he was successcul.
He worked for it was Kodak, right, as a creative director?
Yeah, my dad was a director for Kodak.
Yeah.
If you're, I mean, I don't know if you guys would remember this ad in the early '90s, but the transition lenses, where like they had like the people would walk outside and the lenses would go from light to dark. They became sunglasses. Those were the lenses.
Oh, really? Okay.
So my dad did that. Yeah, my dad's pretty cool. Let's shout out to Pete Tonery as well.
Shout out to Dad.
Shout out to Dad. My parents have a really interesting work ethic. And my mom is like head down, extreme focus. She's a professor at 2 different colleges, universities. And when she's writing her own stuff, like, oh God, there's been a few years where she's had over 130 poems published while being a professor, while maintaining a fucking dope organic garden, raising some chickens, you know.
Canning tomatoes, man.
Canning tomatoes. If you haven't had the Ayupa sauce, get on it, guys. Head on over to Hamlin, New York, and go see.
I heard the chicken alarm going off before.
It's right.
Yeah.
I've got some chickens in Brooklyn now. Just acquired them.
That sounds like a new show. That's new, like a comedy show on Hulu or something. Chickens.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, there's chickens out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get another one soon too.
Do you find that we were talking about this in the car ride? Like, you know, it's hard not to be influenced by our families, right? Like, you know, like that we're kind of like an amalgamation, for better or for worse, of our parents, right, or whoever raised us.
Yeah, different characteristics and.
Do you find that?
become.
Do you
Oh
find
yeah,
that?
yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, it's like
We're gonna get really personal with your life and make you really uncomfortable.
that's right.
No.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
blushing.
I love my mom and dad.
Yeah. No, it's you know it's just it's an interesting conversation because
Right.
you know, especially like growing up in like a small town like
Right.
here.
Right.
You know, like I don't know how big the town was that you're from.
Oh,
Probably pretty
Hamlin, goodness.
small, right?
Very
Maybe
Sounds small.
Yeah.
It sounds small.
10,000 people.
Yeah, so
over
like,
a
you know,
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I mean, this area, you know, Jimmy, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you know because you visited a few
Yep.
times, Nick.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, it's just it's a small town, and it's, you know, when I grew up, I questioned a lot of things. I was that kid,
Yeah. That's good.
You
That's
know?
good to ask why, man.
but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but I think a lot of people don't,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a lot of people just kind of like will just go with the flow and not try to do anything different or think outside the box and just get by. You know?
I always, you know, I had these grandiose feelings, you know, early on. I think a lot of that was motivated by sports, you know, and just being put in high risk situations, like where the stakes were really high and trying to come out on top. And when you like are constantly exposed to that, you're like, you're always looking for the next challenge. So like, it was like, okay, can you do this if it's like with sports at a like collegiate level? And then, you know, and then you graduate college, it's like, okay, can I show up in this way for my career? Like where stakes are high, am I going to perform in, or am I not? And, you know, I know that, you know, you were, you had to be influenced by your dad. I mean, your dad's an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, Nick's cool.
He's all right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, there's something you can't be risk adverse and do these types of things. And I just felt like, you know, we were all thrown in our own ways, like into the deep end, and just like how to figure it out, right? And
I think the martial arts thing kind of plays into it too. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's ironic, all three of us have the martial arts background, and like you said, it's, you know, situation, like you said, putting yourself in situation and just performing at a high level, at
Right.
a top level.
right.
I've never been afraid walking around. I wonder if like that's something that you encountered, you know, like even in that moment in the elevator, like from little freak saying that, even though I'm smaller than you, and you were, you know, obviously we were headed to a thing like
you
that.
have very strong hands, though.
Very strong hands.
It's obnoxious. Like when he grabs my wrist, whenever
He's like, he breaks your hand.
when we're holding hands walking down the streets of New York,
You can't break this grip.
It's tough. Yeah.
My voice goes up when I grab.
Ron Burgundy over here.
Yeah. No. I mean, you know, I don't know. I fluctuate between feeling I think I've never felt comfortable in my own body. You know, I think that the struggle of trying to feel grounded with who I am is what keeps me moving forward. I mean, I think there's like like when you, not to give my dad any more credit than I already have, but like, you know, he had said something that said, he had said this quote, like, winning builds confidence and losing builds character. And I thought, like, I think it's important to lose, you know, as you're in the process of winning, in whether it's with sports or other aspects of life. And I've seen people who have like, who've always won, and then when they face adversity for the first time, and like, or in a dramatic way, they're like crushed by it. And they just can't recover. And like, I think it's just like having intermittent
I came up with a few kids like that.
losses, you know, like humbles you, and you can kind of recalibrate. It's just, it's important to find moments in your life where you can just like lose a little bit. And I know that has helped me when I faced bigger losses in my life in many different ways. And I'm just like super, and I think like living in New York and trying to be seen and heard in a creative field is a great, like, I mean, that it is a,
So you're a needle in a haystack.
oh my gosh, you know, and we've been very fortunate, you know, to work together and gotten a lot of visibility and some cool stuff, you know.
Well, I mean, you guys talking about entrepreneurs and being entrepreneurs and me not.
Well, you are with
No, I was an entrepreneur way before either of you.
yeah.
So you're better than both of us.
I'm not saying I'm better, but I do have a story that
What was your first?
I'll let you guys decide who's better.
All right.
And
Touche.
who's the real entrepreneur
All right, go ahead.
here?
Go.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
All right.
Shoot.
We're in Brockport.
Shoot your shot.
Brockport, New York. I'm 7 years old. First grade?
Yeah, sure.
Close. Yeah.
Probably around, you know, maybe I'm a December baby, so, you know, I was like a little older for the grades usually. Also a great way to have an advantage in the world. Be older. My dad took me to like a Dollar General, a Dollar Tree, something like that, and he gave me $1 as
one would in that store.
as one would to, you know, and 8 cents with tax
To buy one item.
To buy one item.
False advertising, by the way. Can we just say that?
Yeah, where's the story
Dollar
going?
General-
Where's the story going?
Never $1, but anyway, go.
I bought some Jolly Rancher lollipops, and instead of like having them for myself, I took them to school and I sold them. And I found out that when people were buying their lunches, including me, you know, people would bring $2. They'd buy the slice of pizza and a chocolate milk or whatever, and they would have 60 cents left. So Q Nick busts out a ledger, making, you know, it was the equivalent of pivot tables for a 7-year-old with a pencil and a notepad. But I figured out how to make some money by selling these things. Word traveled fast, sold out immediately.
You were the plug.
My dad found out. He took me right back to Dollar Tree, Dollar General. I tripled up on
Do it again.
Did it again the next day. Sold out. Third day, I had so much candy. I had so many customers. I'd sold out again, and the teacher sent me home with a letter. You know, I don't think I could like read it. It was like sealed or whatever.
Like addressed to your parents, right?
Addressed to my parents. I mean, I probably could read it. I had a ledger. I had a business.
He has all the success, but he can't.
This guy can't read. Yeah.
And I get home, and the man shut me down. So the school was like, Nick can't sell candy in school. This is not allowed. You know, it's the first time the man shut me down. So,
God.
you know, you guys will learn about this
So you
with
were like
your little businesses.
Jolly
my
Rancher
gosh.
King over here.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. You know, it's funny. I used to
peaked.
sell stuff in school too. I did the same thing.
Wait a minute.
I did. Not Jolly Ranchers. Yeah.
Drugs.
I did. Yeah. A lot of drugs.
What?
Like right out of my locker. Like I would sell like
How old were you?
Pop-Tarts. Oh, like high school. Like
my
Wait,
gosh.
you stealing from your
CDs.
pantry at your home?
Well, like my parents would buy it, and like it would be so much, and like I would just
You were supposed to eat these things.
I was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So sorry, Mom. She's probably listening and being like, "What? No
Wait a
wonder
minute.
why."
You sold that stuff in middle school, high school, or high school?
In high school, yeah.
Oh my
like
gosh,
I forget
wow.
what grade, but probably like more like 10th, 11th, 12th maybe.
We had a little more clout. Yeah, you were seasoned.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
and like everyone always kind of gathered around in my locker area was kind of like a cool spot. I wasn't cool, but like there was some cool kids.
Location.
Yeah, I had a good corner. I was on a corner. I was almost on a corner, so I had a corner spot in the hallway, right?
Right.
And like the way it started was I just like was bringing them for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'd be too much in a hurry to eat at home because I was like in a rush, right? I was like waking up late. So I just figured like one day, so I grabbed the whole box of Pop-Tarts and I just put it on the top shelf in my locker. Right? And then, you know, as time goes by, like I would just grab one and just like eat it like in my first class or something, right? That's what I would do every day. I'd get to school, take one out, eat it, right? So, eventually as kids are all gathering, like, yo, can I get one of those? And like, so at first I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just give a couple away for free, and then I'm
Wait,
like,
these weren't on display. They were at the top when
They
your
were
locker
like-
was
yeah,
open.
like,
Inside your locker,
in my
top-
locker,
top rung,
top shelf. It was like
Gotcha,
this
gotcha.
big.
I just
right?
wanted to make sure because I'm
Right,
like,
right.
wow, very polite kids just to ask
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they're sitting in the open on the top.
Yeah.
Hey Bill, hey Bill, can I have it?
Yeah, so I just like started selling them. Like I was just like, I don't even remember. Like I didn't really have like a system
low
or
prices.
like it was just like whatever. It was like, I don't know, $2.
Pay-
And
pay
it's
what
like,
you can.
Some people would throw 4 quarters or like, you know what I mean, like whatever it was.
The ballers.
But then CDs too. Like I used to like, remember like you burn CDs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I would go to Best Buy, and I would buy.
Would you go to Gallery of Sound? Remember Gallery of Sound?
I do.
Oh my gosh, I loved Gallery of
Yeah.
Sound. Gallery of Sound was a music store right by the
Didn't they have one in the mall?
Edwardsville. Yeah, in Edwardsville. That was where Grotto Pizza is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grotto's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Grotto. I would go there. My dad made me get a Shaka Khan. That's a Shaka Khan CD. And I lied and said, "Oh yeah, my mom wanted a Shaka Khan." It was from my dad.
Yeah.
But by the way,
Fire seat.
I don't blame him for Shaka Khan is
can get it.
incredible. But
Yeah.
but please continue. So,
But yeah,
so burn CDs.
Yeah, so CDs. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like back then, like when
like printing
yeah,
money.
like when we were in high school, I would get like the newest CD. Like I would get the newest 50-cent CD. Right, so I hope they don't come after me now. But I think the statute of limitations is like too far removed. But I would go to Best Buy.
He's happy for the play.
Yeah, I think he's good. But I would go to Best Buy and I would buy like a 50-pack of blank CDs. I'd get the newest album, whatever it was, 50 Cent, whoever. I would just buy all these new albums, even ones that like I didn't really care about as much, but I would buy them, and I would literally make 50 copies. Like I remember like 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I sold probably like 100 copies.
That
of
was
CD.
a good one to get on top
Wow.
of.
in high
Yeah.
school.
How did you price it out? Did you like?
I don't know,
see
just a few bucks. Like,
Oh wow!
because
So
like
you were
Yeah,
half in the
if you
pri-
buy
yeah.
a stack
yeah,
of
because like
50,
yeah, because back in the day, like
$12.
you'd buy like 50 or 100.
Hold on, let me get
blank
my
CDs.
ledger.
Yeah, see what they cost. I don't remember what they cost, but like it wasn't a lot of money.
Sure, yeah.
So I was like, well, how many do I have to sell to break even?
Yeah.
And then like it wasn't much more money to just it was
Right.
all profit after that.
Right.
right.
And like I like 50 Cent, like probably sold 100 of that, and
I didn't do anything. I didn't do any of that stuff. I mean, the only thing I did was oh my gosh, the only thing that was like exciting for me that I did that I shared with other people was I had shaved my pubes in high school.
I knew he was going to say this.
Yes,
There's no money involved. I
No.
don't know why.
It
This
was
is the
just-
story you're going
that's-
to tell.
Yeah. I don't even know
went
why.
way
this,
out in left field
yeah.
here.
I
You could sell it now.
I saw that people were doing that, pre-manscaped, and I was like, I guess I'm going to do that. But because it was my first time, I put them in like a plastic bag, thinking like I'm going to look back at this moment and go, oh yeah, remember that time you did it? And so I hid it underneath a dresser, and then I went to practice. I went to wrestling, and I come back, and like my dad's in my room, and he like looks at me, and he like turns, and just like if you got busted for drugs by your family, like what is this?
Held
He
it up.
holds it back, and it's like summertime, right? This is like off season, and he's like, "Come here," and like Scorpion, like, "Get over here," and walks me to the back. He's like, "We're gonna flush these down the toilet."
We're going to smoke every last pube.
And so
Together,
right? He was just like, "Who are these for?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
Did
"No,
Billy
but,
get you into this?
Did he sell you those 50 cent CDs?"
It's because you were listening to that 50 Cent CD.
Yeah.
Are you a window shopper?
And my mom's a hairdresser, so I felt bad because I snuck in, I took like the buzzers that she uses on our
my
customers.
God.
Oh, no.
Some poor customer got
Oh my
that
gosh!
the next day.
I cleaned it, but
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Good save.
He said, "Thank you." And I had to flush them down the toilet, but like it was hot. It was hot. It's like it's summertime, so there was like moisture in the bag. So I remember I was like grabbing the pubes and just like trying to flick them into the toilet. And it took so long.
It became a big
because there was
mess.
there's a lot of. This is first time shaving, So like
Yeah.
when just like when people get their hair cut for the first time. My mom's a hairdresser, as I just said, and I've seen people who got their hair cut for the first time, and the hair is just like it almost like gracefully falls to the ground. And so like same thing happened with me, where like vroom vroom, and the
Clippers.
the pubes, the
Oh.
hair down there,
Yeah.
the hair just like politely just like made its way to the floor. It was just like so beautiful, you know what I mean? And I think that's what made my dad and I grow closer in our relationship.
I was about to say that. I think that was the beginning of him ruining moments.
It was a pivotal
No,
moment.
because you were saying like how beautiful it was, but like, was it?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a trauma that we're still working through today.
Yeah.
But that's So I didn't sell anything. I just had a really awkward moment with my dad in high
cool.
school. Yeah,
That's cool too.
Yeah.
But
saying.
you know, Billy and I were thinking, we're like, how much could we move that bag for?
Right, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
a couple dollars a pube.
Yeah, right.
We could look at our ledgers
Instantly.
later.
Yeah, you can check our set of books.
Does your family still have the ledger?
Yeah, so my dad has the letter from the schools.
Oh my gosh.
They saved all of that like silly stuff, you know, anything that's kind of memorable in that place. But yeah, we've got the ledger, and you know, when I say ledger, it's a
Heath ledger.
it's a composition notebook, you know, like the cow looking one.
Yeah.
It's
just
just
that you
that.
used in chemistry class.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know?
And I only had like maybe. It only went like 3 pages deep, probably, because you know you screw up the first 2 pages, and then like it started at the third page.
Yeah, so you really only used one page.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's basically in the Tonery Ayupa Museum right now back home.
Wild.
Yeah.
Jeez. The only thing in my museum is all my like detentions and stuff.
Did you
know?
get you got
Oh my
detention?
God. Oh,
Bill,
yeah.
Bill
I was like
Corcoran
the king.
Jr. got
He questioned stuff, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. See, you know that's exactly why. Yeah.
Were you watching
I was
too much?
I was a rebel. Too much 50 Cent.
I
I don't know. Too much Get
mean,
Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Into club. You know.
Was it more in high school? Was it middle school?
Yeah, it was just high school. But I was also like the kid, and my mom's probably laughing her ass off right now, listening, watching, because she watches these, right?
Yeah.
Because like I smile a lot. It's just a natural. I've been this way my entire life, and because of that, I have. I guess what was known back when I was younger, it looked like I had a smirk, like I was being a smart ass,
Sarcastic
or wise
little-
ass,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And like I didn't know any better, and you know it just my
Shit-eating
entire life. Yeah, my entire life. You know, I just got in trouble a lot of times just for having like this look on my face, and half the time, yeah, maybe I was up to no good, but you know, nothing bad. I mean, I was just a goof in class and just you know nothing like
So
criminal.
other people's insecurities got you in trouble.
Pretty much,
You know,
yeah.
You probably were just like listening, and people were maybe having weird interactions or whatever, and you were just kind of like reacting, and then they were like, "Fuck you, Bill."
Right.
Yeah, I'm not the asshole. You're the asshole.
Yeah.
Go to the
Get out.
I almost said go to the dentist.
Yeah.
Go to the principal is
Yeah,
what
go-
I meant.
yeah.
The principal moonlights
Yeah.
as a dentist.
So that was me. So also my locker. Oh, go.
I was like, shout out to your wife's where she works. So like, you know, shout out.
Oh yeah.
She a dentist?
Well, no, she actually. Well, she was a dental hygienist. Not anymore. She actually got a new job.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't
No,
paying attention
it's all good.
to these important things that happen.
It's all
in your
good.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my wife was a dental hygienist, and she
Okay.
actually she was with Dr. Grossman, Dr. Lauren Grossman here in
on.
Kingston. And
Sponsor the show, please. Thank you so much.
There you go. Yes, thank you. Look at these teeth.
They're good teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't need to go to the dentist if you don't want to.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Go to the
Yeah.
principal.
No. So now she works for like a dental insurance company. She has like a work from home job. So,
Oh, right on. That's a good
Oh, yeah.
transition.
Better for the family. Better for our
Yeah.
schedule. Everything. So, yeah, it's good.
Why not?
Your baby's growing up so I can't.
Oh my gosh. Wild.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
good job
wow.
with that one.
Yeah. Way
Thank
to
you.
go. Way to go.
Yeah.
Well, it was more of your wife. Your wife.
Yeah. It was mostly all her.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
did. It was all of her.
Yeah, same thing with this, man. Like I gotta give my wife a big shout out and credit for.
She gave birth to this too.
She gave birth to this building. I mean, she really did. Yeah.
Shout out for having good partners in your life.
Honestly, if it wasn't,
honestly.
yeah, no, you're right. And
I mean,
if it wasn't for her, I don't think I could do everything that I do, all that I do. I mean, she helped me so much with this building. A lot of people helped me with this building too, but like, you know, the last 2 weeks, I was here till 11 o'clock at night every single night.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Little
and
sacrifices.
you know, and we because we have a son, you know, she was home with him, and some days, you know, we got somebody to watch, and you know, so we both can come here. But
Yeah, I was talking to her like during those late nights, and she was just and like we like really grew
In
close.
DM, right?
Yeah,
You guys are in the DMs?
Oh, yeah. She's like, no, we don't think it off the phone. And it was really interesting. I was
right, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, no, seriously.
your son
like,
called me dad. It was very weird.
over FaceTime, right? You guys, I thought she told me she was
Yeah,
on FaceTime.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
wondering what the heck is Jimmy FaceTiming her
Yeah,
for? You know? But no, but on a serious note, like she, you know, that's just, honestly, if it wasn't for her support, like I really couldn't have done this.
Cheers
or
to that.
any of this.
Cheers
yeah.
to that.
Well,
Nice.
I'm empty.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get
a
some
refill.
more here.
All right,
I'm gonna
refill.
grab
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll cheers to that.
Nick's getting the refill.
Yeah, I just think it's so important to acknowledge your support systems because it is a team effort. It is. I mean, especially if you're trying to make a dream a reality, and you have. I mean, I know that having standing alongside you, helping to build the show, man. Like it's incredible to see how much, people don't know how much goes into this. I mean,
Oh my God.
you have another mortgage. I mean, like this
Dude,
is
it's
this
crazy.
is an This
Yeah.
is an investment, man.
Yeah.
And it's it takes time to grow. And
Thank you, Nick.
from the first time that we got to be on the show the first time, and just seeing where you're at now, it's incredible. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it is.
You know?
It's been a crazy journey, a good journey, and
Times leader, all this stuff. I mean,
yeah,
my gosh,
shout out to the
man.
Times leader. It's great, man. It's just, and like you said, like I think people don't realize everything that goes into this show. And for those listening, some people may not realize, but Jimmy also helps as as an executive producer on the show, and helps with a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And so I really can't take credit for everything on this show. I mean, honestly.
Tell them the one thing that I want you to give me credit for real quick.
What was it?
You know what I'm talking about right there.
The door, dude?
Oh yeah, the door. We said it. Yeah, we said it in the beginning.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we did.
I'm glad I was
Yeah.
listening.
Jimmy,
Yeah, Jimmy was like paying
You wanted
attention.
it again?
I wanted more
Yeah.
time.
Well, I think that's really nice sentiment. That's really nice
That's
thing
really
to say
sweet.
about your wife. I'd like to also give my wife a shout out. Thanks for holding space for me,
We
everyone.
got for about the cheers.
Cheers,
here.
yeah.
My wife opened a bar in 2019, December 26th.
Timing, dude.
She was like, what's in the business plan? This pandemic.
Katie's incredible.
My wife Katie.
You're very lucky that she's
Very cool. We got a little wine bar in Brooklyn. Sorry,
Go ahead, get it out.
He's getting choked up.
it's really choked up. King
he's
Mother.
tearing
It's
up.
called King Mother, natural wine bar, restaurante.
Fancy.
Very, very well loved in the community. We were walking in Texas, where she's from. She's from Houston. We were walking with her stepmom, Lisa, and we were walking under willow trees. And I was like, King Mother.
The other name.
That's the name.
Tree of Life.
That's the name, King Mother. Because it's Kings County in Brooklyn, and 2 ladies own it. One of them's a mother.
Female founded. It's
Yeah.
incredible. They were in New York Times.
Everything. We're New
everything.
Yorker, New York Times, Eater. We got ranked in the top 20 hot dogs in New York.
Oh my gosh.
How do you do that?
Hot dogs.
What's the so it's the hot dog that you
Yes.
the
So
recipe.
it's oh god, what's the name of the hot dog is, I can't think of it's a high quality dog. But it's got something called
It's that
well,
good-
the
it's that good that
company,
you
the
forget the name
meat
of it.
company. I don't know what the meat company. It's
It's Oscar Mayer, like the big wiener mobile.
it's better than that
yeah,
one.
right. Yeah.
What is it? Sherman and Skirm?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But there's a thing called jardinara. So chopping up all these delicious pickled vegetables. There's carrots, there's cauliflower, there's bell pepper, celery, you name it. Super vinegary. Now that pairing with like a fatty hot dog, fatty meat deliciousness, little mustard, ketchup, Martin roll.
Yeah, the best. We only ate them at our home.
They're really good. We love Martin rolls.
Potatoes were great.
Everybody's a Martin roll
That's it, too.
person, right?
no relation.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
could you imagine?
No,
though?
yeah, we make bread. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, that's it.
He's like
The Jim-
the
Jim-
Arm & Hammer, Army Hammer, but it's Martin roll.
Jimmy T. Martin rolls.
He
That's
also
right.
eats people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Eat it up. It is, and I tried to recreate that with my wife Rachel, and I didn't do it. It's not like King Mother, but oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, anybody
It's
can do
so
the
good.
jardinara. Buy
So
the
good.
pickled veggies, chop them up really fine. Let a little bit of that vinegar spill off, so it's not too watery.
Mm-hmm.
Ketchup, mustard, and Martin's roll. Toast the Martin's roll. You got the King Mother hot dog.
Yeah.
But it won't be as good as our place.
But like, what was crazy, just like what was going on during the pandemic. I mean, the restaurant scene is really like the backbone of just the experience that you can have in New York, and the level of creativity and perseverance that restaurant owners like Katie had to go through with trying. Like, you're not allowed to have anybody in, so they had to do this delivery.
Oh my God. Yeah. Every day was a new challenge. It was very strange. We were allowed to sell booze to go for a while. We were allowed to build outdoor dining. Our restaurant, unfortunately and fortunately, is right across from a firehouse. So like you can't do stuff in front of it because fire trucks need to fly by. So we built it in an adjacent corner, the outdoor dining area, which is right next to a dentist's office.
There you go.
Here we go.
And shout out to Dr. Oliphant. I was helping build the fixture, and I was drilling, and he popped out and he went, "I heard drilling and I got excited." which to this day is the best dentist joke I've ever encountered.
God, yeah.
Oh my
It just,
gosh.
you know, and like that's the community. We're super lucky to have what we have. The neighbors love her, love that restaurant. Everybody was supportive. Everybody knew that like we're all screwed for the next at the beginning of this pandemic. We all looked at each other and we're like, we're gonna all have to work really hard to help each other.
I saw Michael Shannon picking up stuff right there. He's a regular at King Mother. Michael Shannon.
Yeah, his wife.
actor.
His wife is more. Yeah,
Well, he was there. He had a mask on. I knew who he was. I was like, that's Mikey
Oh,
Shan.
yeah,
Mikey
yeah.
Shan.
yeah.
Right?
You know, we call him Mike.
Okay, cool.
First name basis.
Yes.
He was performing at the People's Improv Theater with who's he performing with?
Was it with Tracy Letts? Because him and Tracy Letts did improv and sketch comedy in Chicago.
No, it was a pit guy, and now my brain is gone. But I had a show after, so I was like right before him coming in, so I was like in the green room, and I was like, hey Mike. I just like got out. He was nice.
Yeah.
I was like, I loved you in The Shape of Water.
Oh my gosh.
No, I didn't say that, but wouldn't that have been like
He's so good.
of all the choices? I loved you in The Shape of Water.
Yeah, it's I saw what you guys had to go through. It was a nightmare, but they're coming out on top. And every day is a new challenge. But my gosh, like it's just so cool to see how much King Mother serves the community.
If there's one thing I'd like people to know about restaurants is that if somebody is like really going on that first venture, any business, honestly, it may look like things are going great. It may look like, wow, they have everything. It is a lie. And it's just kept up to keep everybody else calm.
You're just keeping it afloat.
It's keeping it afloat, and this is what everybody's doing. It's not like it's a real like I'm pulling the rabbit out of the hat. It's just that really understanding that any really good business, probably some of your favorite businesses, they are all 2 weeks away from losing it all. And it's crazy. I mean, it's not really like that in that the people who are working for these companies will just do their absolute best and not let that happen. But in reality, if they stopped, if there's like a big hiccup, if you got really sick, other people would pull and you'd figure things out. But the reality is like, man, it's all really close to just crumbling. But, people who work really hard and are really good at what they do, don't let that happen. So if you really love a place, spend a lot of money there and shout it out and really enjoy it, talk it up, because we need that. Everybody needs that. From the podcast to Burn, all of it. King Mother.
King Mother. Say King Mother.
It's at King Mother BK. What's the
KingMotherBK.com. And make sure you check Resi to get a reservation because it's pretty popping and it's small.
It's so great.
How small?
And if you want
20 people inside.
If you want
26 outside.
if people from back home here want from northeast.
What do you think you mean?
I just get
Jimmy's on his 17th.
no,
Stella.
dude. I don't drink, and Stella.
Dude, I had a sip of the pumpkin beer and that's what got me. It was like a shot. It was like a shot of liquor.
Man, I'm feeling
Are you okay?
tingling.
Dude,
yeah.
it's the
Jimmy,
pizza.
you good?
I'm good.
Yo, it's what was it? Susie's? What's the pizza?
Susie's. Shelley's.
Shelley's. Listen, hey, I'm trying my best.
I sound like you
there's
got the
so
S.
much good pizza here.
I was doing a Russell Simmons impression.
That was good.
No, thank
we
you.
did good then.
Thank you. Okay. Thimblesm.
The sweet sauce is also like a shot.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Shelley's in Luzerne, by the way.
Shelley.
We had 17 pies of Shelley's.
That's the one thing. I don't care. If you're, I'm gonna look in the camera at this.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that you know what pizza's like, northeastern Pennsylvania. That's where we're at, right?
Yeah, this is where we're at.
northeastern Pennsylvania. Oh, the sweet sauce, the pan fried Sicilian cut. Get out of town if you think you're going to beat that. Like we live in New York. I'm sorry, I come back home for pizza. That's it. Period.
Damn right.
The end. Period.
That's
the end.
it. No,
That's
there's
it.
no discussion about it.
I worked at Pizza Lovin' when I was in high school. You got Antonio's,
best.
Shelley's. I mean, you got so many great. What was the one that we were talking about that has the potato crust? It was like new something something cafe, new something cafe.
Oh,
Newcastle Cafe. I have it here.
When everybody who lives around here is talking about these places, I just assume like he'll know and he'll take me. I try not to. But my first job was at a pizza place.
was it?
Cronies Pizza. I learned how to like fried chicken wings and make sandwiches there, but I never did the pizzas. I sometimes made the pizzas, made the dough. And what's the name of it, Jimmy?
Sabula.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Sabula's
Yeah,
Bar
yeah.
and Lounge. It's
Yeah,
in DuPont.
But
yeah.
the pizza
Yeah.
here is phenomenal.
so good.
the best.
It's so good.
the
really,
best.
Get out of town.
really good. And
I'll take off my shirt and we'll have a conversation if you think that's better.
the pizza that we had today, that thin pizza, that's not Sicilian.
No, that was just a regular pie.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
that's good.
Had a little
pizza.
bit. It had a little bit of onion in it, a little cut up. I mean, it was
Yeah,
just
just
like,
Oh,
the
yeah?
best.
Oh, I didn't. I was eating it too fast to notice that.
Yeah.
oh, you were Snarf City, dude.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I have Snarf City tattooed on my lower back.
Speaking of Snarf, so Snarf reminds me of how I eat up how every second of the day thinking about my wife Rachel. So I'm gonna.
You're bringing it back to the.
I'm bring it back to support systems.
Yeah, the wives.
Oh my God, Rachel had. I mean, she is my rock, man. And I'm gonna announce something on this show that I haven't said before.
What is it?
Okay, and I have to make sure that we announce. So I know we're recording. I'm not gonna tell people your recording schedule, but
Yeah, but this is a couple weeks delayed. Maybe a few weeks delayed.
But you get the exclusive with this announcement.
Do I?
I'm gonna be a dad.
What?
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew.
Here.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Yes, thank you.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
We are having a baby.
Congratulations.
March 2020. We're going back in time. We're going back.
Yeah,
in time.
yeah.
No, 2023.
Kid's gonna be born.
Cheers, man.
3
Thank
years
you.
old.
Yes. Baby boy,
See you,
man.
buddy.
Baby boy.
Boy,
That's
found
it.
out.
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was a journey, man. And look, because it has to do with my body, I feel like I give myself consent to talk about this. But
Yeah, if you want it, man.
it was a long road. We had to have intervention with our pregnancy. It was on me. Clearly I'm always the problem. And we had to go through that intervention, IVF, and people don't talk, guys don't talk about having issues with fertility.
Yeah, what was it like, man?
Yeah.
If you don't mind sharing.
No, it was humbling, right? Rachel was incredibly supportive. This is something we wanted to do for a while. And we were very fortunate to work with this company in New York called Kindbody, which was a nice concierge, service for couples looking to begin that journey. And, I felt really insecure. I felt like, oh my gosh, like this is my fault. And, kind of being in the shoes of like what typically is something that like that women go through. Right. And like to have it be, something that was, I don't think deficit's the word, but like me having to be the one that had to, seek intervention, and it was challenging. I mean, look, I went on Clomid, I don't know if you know about Clomid. Like I was doing all these things to help, like, get to be able to help.
What's the 7-second version of Clomid?
Clomid is it helps with increased count with men, sperm count with men, and I was getting, like, my nipples were sensitive. I was getting hot flashes.
Oh my God.
You got a little aggressive.
I got a little aggressive, and then, like, Rachel would say, "Hey, how's your day today?" And I was like, "Thank you for asking." I was like gritting really like emotion, and it was.
He'd put on a sweatshirt and it'd rub his nipples, and he would like moan.
Yeah. It would be, yeah. So he just kept, he kept like getting me shirts from eBay. I was like, "Stop doing that, dude.
Too tight.
They're too tight."
If it ain't tight, it ain't right.
That's right. That's right.
I'm like, you look like Joe Rogan. That's good.
But like it was a journey, man, and I like really want more people to be like vocal about it, because I know a lot of guys who are having issues with that, and it's a common thing, and we got through it. And I do kind of have a funny story about when after like having taken Clomid for a while, and then it was my time to produce a sample so that they can like. So here's
Produce a sample.
So I go to Kindbody, right? And you go into a room and you gotta like do your thing, do the thing that you've been doing for
Produce a sample.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly. My personal mixtape, if you will, right? Yeah. So I go in there, and this gentleman is like, "Hi, so here's the Roku, and like here's also the stash." And he showed me like sort of straight pornography, and then he like looked at me and goes, "There's like some other stuff," and he showed me like sort of gay pornography, just in case I was like feeling something different,
options.
having options, right? And he was like super nervous. It felt like it was his first time, and then I said, he gives me the Roku. He goes, "Oh, so like, okay, this is how you turn this the thing on," and I saw. It was around the time the Golden Globes had just happened, and I saw like on Roku, like Roku City or whatever, like it just like something slowly goes into frame. And I told him I was like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna watch the Golden Globes," and his face as if he like wanted, like he was just so
It
confused.
really shocked him.
To be able to be like, no, I'm just gonna watch the Globes.
Yeah,
a great joke.
you took him by surprise.
Took him by surprise, So like 10 seconds later, knock on the door, everything's ready to go. You see Leo, you just like, okay, I made it.
That's it.
But yeah, we were very fortunate to have, Rachel's, we're in the second trimester now, and we're very blessed to have,
Good for you, man.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, been
That's
through
awesome.
a lot, and if anybody has any questions about the process, DM me at Jimmy T Martin on Instagram. I'll tell you what if you want to watch the Globes, I'll give some recommendations of what parts of the Globes.
Yeah, the best scene.
Exactly, right.
Favorite
That
scenes.
just gets you ready to go. Yeah.
We can just hang out in Roku City.
Yeah.
That's right.
Speed up that production sample.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But it's it's like I'm just tired of people just not being honest with like the real shit. Like it's
Yeah, that's some real stuff, man.
Stuff goes. You go through some shit. Let's talk about it. Like there's a community out there waiting for you. And even in comedy, you don't see a lot. I mean, the fact that I met a guy like Nick who was like a martial artist. He was like charismatic guy, like grounded, good family values, like had ambition. Not saying you don't have it anymore, but at the time, ambitious and just like playful and joyful and just like yes-anding everything. It was just like, oh my gosh, and like we got to meet at like the People's Improv Theater. Mm-hmm. We got to meet like at UCB, just like all these great improv places where you're just like around people that just want to have fun and also are serious about where they want to be in their life. But realizing that like you get there through community, and that's improv.
When we met around that time, we kind of brought each other back to that community.
That's
as
right.
well, right? Because
Yeah.
you had taken a little break.
Yeah.
I hadn't even started. Mm-hmm. You were my sister, Megan. My sister Megan was kind of encouraging me to do that stuff too. And when I met Jimmy was like, I know 2 great places we can go. We can go to UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade, and we can go to the Pit, the People's Improv Theater. And I was working at Yelp at the time. I was trying to continue doing more like writing work and global marketing, because I had come back from Germany where I was working for Trivago, and I was just trying to get any work because if you can make it in Düsseldorf, you can make it anywhere.
That's what they say, right?
I've heard
That's
that.
the saying.
I saw a bumper sticker on the highway.
So
Yeah.
I think
That was my
Franz-
car.
That was yours.
That was my
Okay,
car.
got it. Yeah.
Franz Sinatra said it, I think. So once I moved to Brooklyn and stuff, I just started like aggressively hitting that LinkedIn easy apply button, everywhere. Worked at L'Oreal for a bit, but I was working at Yelp, and I thought it was going to be a Yelp like
copyright.
something writing related with the sales book, and it ended up just being like a sales farm. It was a sales floor, Wolf of Wall Street, but like a whole bunch of 22-year-old kids.
And
I was 27.
And a gong though, like you guys.
There was a gong, it was all that crap.
Yeah.
And it was, it was very,
Right.
yeah, it was all of that. Yeah. Without the drugs, it was just like ramen noodles.
Yeah.
But man, they did a lot of brainwashing. They did 2 months of education. I learned how to really sell, which, is great. I mean, I got an MBA in that type of sales. Absolutely. But I didn't do any sales. I literally coasted through that job for about a year. Mm-hmm. Was getting paid crap. I think it was, it was like 40. I shouldn't say that it was crap, because like it's relative how much money, but that salary in New York is very tough. I think after taxes, it was close to $29,000 or something like that. It was very much just enough to exist. Mm-hmm. And
barely exist. Yeah.
Barely exist.
Oh,
it was low. I mean, if you're really good, you can get by in New York City at extreme poverty at like $16,000. That's like really, really, really tough. So it was only doubling that. Anyway, this isn't about.
So you were
that.
like level 2 of poverty.
Oh God! I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely, it was tough.
Yeah.
I was living with my sister. I was working at Yelp.
Shout out Megan Tonery.
Shout out to Megan
Very
Tonery.
talented. Her TikTok. Oh my gosh.
She's hilarious.
She is
That's right.
so
Follow
funny.
Megan Rose Tonery for craft videos. If you've got kids, she's got amazing
oh my
content.
Gosh. She's incredible. You should.
Extremely funny.
You'll see where Nick gets all of his talent from.
He just
well,
copies
she's
her.
4 years
Oh,
older
yeah.
than me. I'm a copywriter, so I should be called a copy Meganer. All right. But so I was going to work every day and just like faking it, just eating food there, and I was like using the free printer to print out like sketches I was writing and stuff. Like legit, the only reason you work at an office is for the printer.
Right.
And the
you
bathroom.
know this.
And the bathroom.
And the bathroom.
And the bathroom,
Yes, right.
Yeah.
The place was cool. There was a lot of fun people, but man,
Good
was
food,
that,
beer. You had, I mean, it was
Yeah,
like,
but they
Great-
caught
great
on.
break room.
They caught on when I was not making them money. I think I was doing the math like.
The ledger. Back to this ledger.
Yeah, right.
If you, I do some math, guys. But like, the numbers that they had for you to exist there, like if you were closing sales, you were making that company at minimum, if you were doing what they wanted, between 13 and 27 times. That's the revenue
Your
you were
salary.
earning the salary. So I was just like, fuck this place. So I just scammed it. I scammed it. And then I went to comedy school. I like Jimmy, he was like, check out these programs at the People's Improv Theater. So I ended up working there, volunteering. I was like bartending in a, illegal basement sort of situation. And I was just, I got free classes out of it. I made the house teams after that.
I want to just like preface this. So the New York City comedy scene, I think aside from Chicago, is the best in the country, right? Upright Citizens Brigade, Amy Poehler, Ian, who were the founders? Like Poehler, Matt Besser, Ian Roberts, and somebody else. Oh my God, Matt. Oh my gosh, I feel
It's
I'm
really
embarrassed.
okay.
It's okay.
I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
There's the
Jimmy's
Fast
embarrassed.
Four or whatever
He's
they call
embarrassed.
it. Well, they closed in New York anyway, so who cares?
Right. But yeah, R.I.P. Right when the pandemic, they were like, yeah, we're not gonna pay rent. But
That is pretty much right.
But so Nick was doing stand up in Germany, and I was like, dude, you'd be great with improv, man. And they were like auditioning for, it's called 10,000 Hours, which was like a this nice like.
that's right. Yeah.
We did 10,000 hours together.
We performed together.
And then Nick,
separate teams
and
and then together.
Nick's been a bartender for almost like a decade.
Yeah, half my life at least.
Half your life. And so the Pit, they had this like work study thing, and he was a bartender, and in exchange for doing all that stuff, he got free classes. And this guy didn't pay $1 for like New York City improv classes. And by the way, like
8-week programs.
8-week program, and these programs are
$650 a class, sort
That's
of thing.
crazy,
So I
yeah.
took 5 levels of that plus, maybe 8, including like sketches.
Yeah,
so
so
we're talking.
right.
That's math I can't do.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot of money.
But
Hold on, where's my ledger?
Yeah. And then on his first go of auditioning for a house team, which you
Pretty
don't
competitive.
You don't get on the first try. Like there's people who like years, and spots don't open up like it's like once a year.
That's right, yeah.
It's very infrequent. And the Pit had like auditions for like SNL. I mean, they hosted like SNL auditions, and Ari Farnahaken.
Yeah, Ali.
Ali Farnahaken. He incredible improviser and
Writer on SNL.
Writer on SNL. They Nick auditioned, and he got you were on a team first audition. It was insane.
It was blew my mind. Yeah, it was so lucky, so wonderful. And I performed for 4 years, and then the pandemic happened. And
yeah, he put on
everything
some shows.
went digital.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to do some really cool stuff. They have the old place which closed down. I mean, they had two floors. They had the underground, and then they had Stryker, which was
Great stage.
Great
yeah.
stage. And
But now they got the more intimate place at the Pit Loft. Super fun. Nice tight room.
that's where we did our
Yeah.
group. A Bit Much was the name of our
We had a great show.
with Nick and our buddy Chris Miliancho, and man, so that was like fun because like we always wanted to do something together, and we did improv, but like sketch is so fun, right? And if it's it could be terrible or it could be like so magical, and most of the time it's terrible, and we've been in those terrible sketches.
Kind of like this whole show right
That's
now.
right,
Terrible,
exactly right. Yeah,
If anyone made
exactly.
it this far, by the way,
Oh
like,
yeah, totally.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks so
you
much.
if you're still
If anybody's
watching.
following.
Yeah.
But we did, it was so fun to be able to like collaborate and just make some silly stuff. And, we still have it on YouTube. There's not a lot of views because we don't really push it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I mean,
I watched it today.
Well-
It's got like 29 views.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
the ones that
And we watch it.
the ones that
Yeah.
that are featuring Jimmy are low. The ones that are featuring me
right.
are like 300 to 900
that's
views.
right. Yeah.
But the ones that are Jimmy are 29.
Yeah. Okay, that was the one I
Yeah,
watched.
yeah.
then.
You probably just typed in Jimmy T. Martin.
I did.
Well, that was your first mistake, Bill.
I know. Yeah, rookie mistake. Yeah.
I mean,
hurting my feelings so much.
lead with Nick Tonery.
Oh my
always.
gosh.
Actually, when you write the episode,
You gotta switch it. Yeah, Nick Tonery featuring him.
You're
Just
right.
for-
yeah.
Featuring,
just for SEO.
Yeah. That's right.
just misspell my name. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah.
But we have, it was just so funny, like how we were just and having just having studied improv, it's the basis for a lot of writing, especially like when we did copywriting, like this, collaborative yes and mindset, and when the whole yes and thing, like if people are wondering like what does that mean, that's just it's agreeing to the circumstances that your scene partner like places on you, right? You can disagree with your scene partner, but like agreeing to the world that you're creating together is what the yes and, that's the sort of foundation of yes and that happens a lot with improv. I know Second City uses improv a lot for like writing sketches, and that's like it's a tenet that is then applied to shows like what Key and Peele and SNL and all these other shows. And so we'll be like, hey, like what about this, right? And we'll just sort of riff and kind of like see where it goes. And if a thing has legs, you should have a premise, you have the beats, and then you want to have your out, right? And we came up with some fun stuff. I mean, there was
oh man, yeah, and Jimmy's a great director too. I mean, this was a real moment where his skills in that place really blew my mind, because I knew him as a funny person, charismatic person, very likable person, very funny person, but just like to see him throw that show together and get everybody like really, really intertwined and aligned and finding the funny. Like, there was a bit that I did where I hadn't done a show like this yet. And so I wrote, I don't know what I write, like 30, 40 premises. I was just like, so how about this? How about this? And they're sitting in this writer's room just watching me read these bits and just stonewalling me, And then after I paused, after I said the jokes, I would be like, this is around Game of Thrones time. I'd be like, so what about it's Khaleesi, but it's like a 90s show, and it's Khaleesi Explains It All. And they would stonewall me, and then they would burst out laughing because out of the silence. So the joke was me flopping.
Right.
But I had 30 of these bits.
Yeah.
So none of my things turned into a sketch. And then at the end of it, Jamie let me read all of them. He's like, that's the sketch.
Yeah, the sketch we call it the bullpen, because it was like him just pitching, right?
Yeah.
And it was so silly. And he had some, such silly stuff. I mean, even like your premise about the dating premise, which was so funny.
First date idea, couples therapy. And you see, it's just that silence where everybody's like, we want you to win, but you're not gonna. That's funny.
Oh my God. Just awkward stuff. Comedy to me is like you have like a marble on the table and just like it rolls and then just like randomly falls off the table, right? And we did one called Fart Bit, which was it. I mean,
was on SNL a few months later.
Yeah, that's right.
No, there really was. There Fart Bit.
They did something kind of similar. It was interesting. So it was just like the whole premise was a comedian is doing a bit, and Nick played Bart Macho. That was the name that we gave him. And I was like, he's doing like very, very like campy, like he like set up punchline like da 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 blah 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 blah, holding for the laugh, and then I'm in the back doing like a fart sound. And the farts, like get more obnoxious every single time.
It's what we in the biz call heightening.
And oh my gosh, there was just, a part where, I knew that he would be able to like really do a lot of crowd work. And after every little,
I pointed at every person in the audience, locked eyes, and gave them a fart noise. And you would think like after the third, fourth, like this can't get funnier. We had a sold out show, so we had about 45, 50 people in the room,
right? Which was packed in this other.
I got everyone. I made Jimmy turn on the lights and get the people in the back. It erupted, and it was just. There's very few times where like the joke can get that much funnier each time, and that was one of them. And to this day, that's the funniest thing that I've ever done that Jimmy's written, and it's my favorite. Fart Bit is my favorite.
I mean, when you hear a fart sound.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah. I didn't even hear it. I'm just laughing
it's
already.
So dumb. So if you type in fart bit a bitch, bitch much. Oh my God, sorry.
Whoa.
Fart bit a bit much.
Right.
Have another Stella.
Yeah.
I mean, 4%. Wow, dude.
Yeah. We'll take
5%.
You want an Eskimo kiss?
Yeah.
And then we did another one based off. So there's this thing. People like to flex on like where they live in the city, right? Like, the West Village, or I live in Tribeca, and you find out that they kind of live around those areas.
Yeah, like a few blocks away.
Right.
So I was hearing, so I was inspired by somebody saying that they lived in the Upper East Side, but they didn't really live in the Upper East Side. They lived in a place like called Yorkville, which is like a little further east, like 88th and like 2nd Avenue, right? Like Upper East Side to me, because I've trained, personal trained a lot of people that live there. I mean, you're near Central Park. You're not so far east. So I was it just bothered me, right? And so when we're thinking about this stuff, we were talking about a premise where, two friends were talking, and they have another friend that's sitting a little bit away from them, and Nick's character was saying, "Oh, hey, did you hear that so and so just got a new place?" And the other guy, Chris, in the scene was like, "Yeah, Upper East Side, garden, kind of really playing it up." And my character sort of just goes "What are the cross streets?"
Oh no!
And he says the cross streets, and then I'm just kind of like, Could I just say something really quick? And he's like, yeah. And all of a sudden it goes into this
kicks over the chair
instrumental dun, 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 dun. And I'm rapping. I'm like, you live in Yorkville, so stop lying to yourself. The Upper East Side's reserved for those who got some wealth.
You live in Yorkville.
Time for a reality check, cause living on First Ave deserves no respect.
You live in Yorkville.
Which means you rags not rich. No private driver in sight. You broken riding the 6. You live in Yorkville. So let me beg your pardon about the garden you got. Bitch, it's not private, it's common. You live in Yorkville. And I just go into this song, and then I just do
You guys nailed that, by the way.
Killing. I sing it to Rachel every night before I go to bed. And then I just had this thing where I'm like, your dad's guarantor because you can't pay 40 times the rent. Your dad's guarantor because you can't pay 40 times the rent. 40 times the rent, you can't pay 40 times the rent. 40 times the rent, you can't pay 40 times the rent. 40 times the rent, bit. And I
similar to Fartbit, Jimmy screamed it in every single person's face.
Oh my God. And I was counting up to 40. I was like, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What comes next? Oh, 11 and 12. And I was counting up to 40.
We could have done that show 20 times. We could have sold out 20 times, and we didn't, because we just did it once, and we were like, we're retiring.
That's retiring. And I got
went out on top.
29 views, baby, on YouTube.
That's the way to go.
Get some.
Jimmy's I'm going to open a business.
But, my gosh, you had said, oh, I got to read this too. Cause I was doing a doom scroll on Nick's Instagram account, which he's you've done some updates and, had posted a lot of funny stuff, and then you completely deleted your account, then brought your account back. And
yeah. What's going on with your IG?
Oh, I'm really trying to move backwards. I'm trying to consume the way I used to consume. And when I mean that how I used to consume as a kid. I would turn on TV and have 7 channels, I'd have PBS and Fox, there's too much, and I feel content is kind of crushing me, at least. I'm just kind of, just consuming too much. So I bought a portable DVD player the other day, and I'm watching DVDs.
Oh my God,
I have to press the buttons. I have to wait for that load screen where, it says that, the FBI,
warning.
whatever warning.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. Paramount Pictures copyright notifications, stuff like that. I have to wait for that, that thing to happen. And then I have to click the previews or go to the movie thing. I press the button and it's it's like a real press. Guys, I just want the real thing. No, the Instagram stuff is the doom scroll. I mean, you saw my account. I had 10,000 followers at one point. I had been doing pretty well on the content, but I just kind of, it wasn't getting burned out. It was just kind of I don't really know what the return is here. I didn't have a product that I was selling other than me. And then I hit a tipping point where I'm people coming to my shows and stuff, it was just kind of they were just coming. It wasn't really I was reaching anybody new. And this was well before the big boom with TikTok and stuff like that, with getting, I don't know. I don't think anybody's making money off of TikTok. I really don't think that that's real. I think that there's a bit of I don't know how else to put it's cosplaying as somebody who's making money online, because as somebody who had 10,000 followers, which is nothing, it's substantial, but it's not that great. Those numbers slowly started to whittle away, and then everybody's talking about the algorithms and stuff. I was just you know what I could do right now? Anything else. I could do anything else. And, it was setting little goals, just taking walks and reading more and all that crap. Just the things that you think you should be doing. And that's also, it doesn't fucking matter. Just suppress the stuff and then the things will choose you that you'll end up doing. You just end up going on that walk. You end up just picking up the book and reading the thing you want. Or, you go on Craigslist free and find somebody who's giving away the Ren and Stimpy entire collection on DVDs, but you have no way to watch that. So you buy a portable DVD player, and then in the mornings when you're like putting the dishes away that you washed the night before in the washing machine, you just put on an episode and then you just like watch it.
That was part of the bullpen.
That was a bullpen. So sketch?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you had
music. How much fun did we have in the car listening to a CD?
Oh my gosh.
We didn't have Spotify where it just like we select each song we want.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, there's something fucking awesome about that. But instead of accelerating the way that we reach the end, I want to listen to the artist that you have. By the way, the artist that you have for this is great. I was checking out his Instagram page earlier today.
Rico?
Yeah.
Rico Erie.
He's great. He's great.
We wrestled together. Elementary school.
No way.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Oh, that's nice.
He's an awesome guy.
His music's great.
Rico.
Yeah. And I was enjoying his stuff. But like that's the thing is like I actively was seeking out that moment. It wasn't doom scrolling, and I think that music has become like a doom scroll. TV is the doom scroll. Like how everybody jokes like, well, how many times are you just like going through YouTube and you just can't find the thing you want to watch, and then it's like 10 hours later. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but like
that's how people talk.
it's too much Ren and Stimpy, is what it is. Ren. There's a pimple on my back. No, but there's like, my idea is these like don't stop, but like wean off of them gently by moving backwards in the way that you consumed content previously. Like, I'm not saying like put down your Nintendo Switch and pick up a Tamagotchi. That's too big of a jump. But you know what I mean? Like at some point you're going to stop playing Candy Crush and pick up some Pogs. You know what I mean? No, it's the same exact thing.
Do you remember that? I mean,
I do.
Wyoming Valley Video, #1 place. That was like their tagline.
Was it?
Remember
Number
it?
one
Yeah.
place?
Yeah. Not around anymore. Is it really #1?
Was.
dude.
But I had so many Pogs, man. OJ and the Slammer. And then they just all disappeared under my bed one day,
With the bag of pews.
Do you think
no,
somebody
those
threw them away?
those stayed obviously until my father.
you guys.
Do you think your dad threw them away? He's just done with them or something?
I don't know. I just think that they weren't important anymore to my family. But
That's rough, man.
That was it.
They're not valuable now.
No, but look, I second what Nick has to say. It is so hard. I mean, I'm sure you feel it. I mean, you do all your. I mean, you have a team around you.
I do,
but but a lot of it comes from you. You create, like as we say with in advertising, like you create the briefs and like you execute on them, and you have a team to sort of support that vision. But you're hustling all the time, man. I mean, you're wearing your mindset hoodie. You got you have slogans of past episodes tattooed on your body. People don't know about that.
Yeah, my whole back.
Yeah, your whole back.
Whole back's covered every single episode.
Yeah,
my favorite quote from every episode is on my back.
I mean, very little real estate left.
If you need a lower back tattoo artist, let me know. I'll send you my guy.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
His name's Doug, but he has like five U's.
D-U-U.
Yeah,
Doug.
Yeah.
This kind of content, I don't have a problem with. And it's not. I'm not just saying that because we're on this. I have really. I'm not. I have gotten into audiobooks recently, and I've been listening a lot more because I think that there's something really special about the ability to either sit and just be with audio or like watching something. Of course, I know that we've got video for this too, but to be able to like walk around and do something else. I call it puttering around the house. But keeping your hands busy so the devil doesn't get them.
Can you keep doing this real quick?
Yeah. Why you tell the story? Go ahead. Tell the story with the.
So the devil doesn't get them.
Yeah.
I think that there's something really important about that consumption rather than sitting in your ass groove of your couch, especially with this work from home stuff and just kind of getting locked in. I mean, I joined a gym at the beginning of this year, and man, I didn't realize what kind of toll the kind of sitting that I was doing had put on my lower back and stuff, and just made me, out of shape. But like, and this also comes back to like the chicken hobby, you know, just like throwing a weird physical thing into your life like that.
Right.
I get up at 6:30 now. Never used to do that. I'm burning calories earlier. I'm moving around. I'm listening to stuff, you know. They were small changes. And what I mean by this is like small winnable moments. I don't mean like cutting it all out. I really don't think that's good. I think that like really hurts. And then also you're more probably prone to some sort of failure and then feeling like shit. And then you go back into a binge of whatever you were doing. So yeah, just if this stuff is bothering you, doom scroll or whatever, you know, just start unfollowing the accounts that you don't care about or muting them, and really is similar with like the restaurant and like supporting the stuff that you like. Really give those people a shout out, you know, and give them the likes and stuff so you can see the shit that you want. Because if you're putting all the crap in front of you, that's really all you're going to be consuming, and that is how you're going to feel.
You're right. You're 100% right.
That's how you're going to feel. You know, there's nothing wrong with the Kardashians unless it's negatively affecting you. That's right. And like I feel like the people who like, you know, talk about them the most secretly love them. Yeah. You know, but like me, I don't look at them. They don't exist to me. You know. Whereas, you know, let's breathe life into this because, you know, this is.
I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
Nick, so when I'm feeling down about stuff, because Nick's always, what I love about him is we check in on a daily basis, and he'll just be like, "How are you, BB?" You know, like, and
hey, BB.
You know, and I'll just be like, either just like, like it's always like rough, man. You know, just you know, I mean, I expressed like the things I'm doing with Burn, and it's just like. As Nick was saying before, you always feel like you're like 2 months away from being out of business, and then like you have big wins, and then you feel like you're 2 months being, you know, like non-venture back businesses. They're like, you know, that's where you need to send your love to, right? Like those are the businesses you need to support, right? Like find them, help lift up those founders, the people that like are, you know, helping to create incredible experiences for people on a daily basis. Like stand alongside them because they need the support as much as they can. But, you know, I was like talking to Nick and I was just going back to like scrolling through his Instagram, and I was just watching, and I was like looking at moments that like of us and how we grew as friends over time, you know, prior to working with each other. And I asked him, I'm like, do you miss that? Like, do you miss that time? And Nick said it like was poetic. Cause like, just like when he thinks of things, it's always it's in like sellable form. And he said, I miss being younger and not knowing as much when I wasn't too worried, but just worried enough. And I was like, God damn it, you know? And that just like, and then that like, because of how we like write things together, I was like, I got to continue that thing. So I
wrote a whole bit.
So I was like,
you live in Yorkville.
Yeah, you live in depression. So then I wrote down, I was like, I long for the days of being short-sighted, not having ambition or the need to find it. I'm mourning the past, time's moving too fast. I'm not quite ready for what's ahead of me. So I'm hoping today my mind can just stay where it needs to be, just right here with me. And I was just like, you know, thank you so much, guys. Hear that, Dad? I'm doing stuff in my bed at midnight.
What?
What? But, you know, like just the thought of like, just being okay with like how you're feeling right now and not like always seeking the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so similar to the way that we're consuming with convenience first.
Yes.
And so and this is kind of the hard part that I'm trying to convey about how I'm trying to go back to a way that there's just a little bit of throttling of receiving the thing. Like you're still getting the same thing, but having to work for it a little bit. For example, you know, Fresh Direct, right? Listen, Fresh Direct is awesome.
Really good.
But man, does not going to the grocery store and having a little bit of that stress to get your shit, like that being taken away from you, and then tipping somebody else $10 or $15 or whatever a reasonable tip is for somebody hauling your groceries, spending the gas, like. There's something very strange about not having these experiences anymore. You know, not going to the mall,
right.
Not going to not saying like these things need to come back, but the money needs to be spent. This is where it gets crazy. This is kind of anti-Amazon and stuff like that. Like I only buy shit on eBay now. You know, when you start to feel bad for Walmart, you know, the world's like getting fucked up. Like, and that's something my dad said to me kind of recently. And he was like, man, you know, because we used to fucking hate Walmart. Yeah. You're like, they're the worst. There's a Walmart every 36 miles across America.
Is that the fact?
It's like, that's what it averages out to.
Oh my gosh.
Every 36 miles, there's a Walmart.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You know, that's including like, you know, Alaska fucking mileage too and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Which, by the way, I think Walmart did a campaign, and it was Pitbull, and people were trying to punk Pitbull, and it was like whatever Walmart like store in the entire country gets the most whatever in this poll, Pitbull will go there, and people were like, let's send Pitbull to this like 6,000 people in this town in Alaska, and they were like, oh my god, this place in Alaska, you know, won, and Pitbull's like, I'm Mr. Worldwide for a reason.
Worldwide.
Right, that's right.
And he went there without even flinching and was just like, deuces, what's up?
Yeah.
You know?
took that check.
So funny.
Wore a dope coat. Like to be conscientious of the idea of where your money's going. I think that right now people need to spend a little bit more money to obtain the same item. This is like, who would do this? It's like, no, I'll just let it come to me in 2 days and it'll be fine. And like, nobody's getting hurt. And you're like, oh yeah, a lot of things are getting hurt. Just spend a little bit more and get it from, you know, whoever is like near you. Right. Do a little bit more research, or figure out a way to steal from these big companies. You know, find a way to make a new burner email account and a burner credit card so you can get a discount. You know, always get the free sample. Never pay for Hulu.
This guy,
you know what I mean?
He is like the.
Sounds like you got a lot of hacks.
If Fight Club,
that's
manifested like like a Tyler Durden.
Yeah,
this guy's Tyler Durden, man.
I got Edward Norton's face, but Tyler Durden's body. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can vouch for that. Yeah, he's very handsome.
I've got Meatloaf's legs. Wait, let's keep going. I've got
what about your
Jared Leto's hair.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Right.
There it is.
What a movie well before. I mean, my gosh. Like, you watch it now and you're like, Chuck Palahniuk, right? Is that the right print? Okay. Mm-hmm. I've heard Palahniuk.
Yeah, it's both.
Well before his time with just like, what was it? Anti-establishment sort of writing.
Anti-consumerism and anti-capitalism and stuff like that. There's nothing, you see, this is the thing. There's not anything wrong with capitalism, but like now we're hitting this tipping point where it really feels like democracy, it was treated as like a business now, and now the super rich are like fucking it over. Mm-hmm. And so now we're going to hit this point where nobody can fight with dollars to save this thing. And so we're just slowly, like, it's the drug dealer mentality too, where 2-day shipping is the, like, you know, first one's free. But we've been getting first ones free for so long now, and we've, you know, priced out everyone. And so now we're all like, well, what do we do? That's the only thing left. And that's when you get chickens.
Yeah.
That's it. You set chicken alarms on your phone.
That's right. Do you how do you feel? We're open up to you, man. How do you feel? How do you feel about? I mean, because look, you have.
Well, you ask why, so I bet you think a lot of this shit.
I do. Yeah.
Tell me with the grin on your face. How you feel about that?
First of all,
fuck you, Bill.
Yeah. Well, first, up until like I don't know how long ago it was.
Yeah.
But you were following nobody on Instagram.
Yeah. I followed 46 people or something
recently.
Now.
Yeah.
It's like
following
my friends
nobody.
and family.
Burn and I.
So you saw me with nobody.
Following nobody is like a flex.
Yeah.
First of all,
with 9,000 followers.
Yeah, that's
no posts.
Yeah. I looked up. I'm like, wow, this is a flex. Who's this guy that's coming on my show?
Yeah.
He's troubled.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want him on the show anymore.
Yeah, right.
I actually texted me. I'm like, yo, is this guy like okay? Like, is he good? Like, what's the story here? But yeah.
No, I think it's important to I mean, look, as the person who has the most followers at anybody on this table, I mean, I can tell you right now, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
You're right.
It doesn't mean anything.
You're right.
And, you know, if it makes you feel good, cool. But like that's like having you know, a Jolly Rancher lollipop. Like, you're gonna get that spike and then you're gonna crash.
Are you a helper? Do you help people all the time? Like anybody?
All the time.
Are you looking always to how you can help people?
All the time.
Now, do you help people while being so fucking angry that like how dare I have to help you? You need my help. I was looking for a way to help you, and then I, found a way to help you, and now I'm, like angrily, there's something. That's how I think my life is. I'm just like so fucking mad, but I'm just ready to be super generous to help you get there.
That sounds like a pro wrestler character type.
Sound like Goldberg or something.
He just kills people with I kill you with kindness.
I just want to fucking make you better, but I'm gonna be fucking pissed the whole time.
That was
my dad.
That's your dad. Yeah.
Who was that? That sounded like what's that wrestler? Snapping to a Slim Jim. What?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, you actually look like if
You
had
do.
The,
You
had
got.
Do you have your glasses with you right now or no? Oh, they're outside.
Yeah, brother. I know.
That was good. That was good.
Oh my god.
That was it right there.
They still say they still have him on the Savage Slim Jims. Like his
so.
likeness
He
is
is.
still.
It's
He must
still
have had
so
a 100-year contract.
Yeah, bazillion
Oh my
dollar,
gosh.
100-year.
I don't know. If that's that.
Look, I don't follow it, but I just love that pro wrestling is a thing, and I see clips I saw like when Logan Paul, and by the way, Logan Paul I think that he
He's
needs
a good
to,
athlete, man.
Yeah, I think he needs to do what like The Rock did and just go for it. I mean, obviously he's doing fine right now, but like what a flex to be able to just like this first go come in and be so acrobatic and I mean,
Well, his video started off as comedy early, and then I think he got a little too serious.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people are trying to break into Hollywood, which I
Right.
think I agree with you. Like, you
Right.
can do that, but like, The Rock is funny.
oh, he's
John Cena is funny.
yeah.
Even what Batista is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, you look at that and you're like, damn, these giants shouldn't be as funny as they are.
Pro wrestlers have a similar track to like stand-up comics, though. Like,
Absolutely.
we were trying to flesh out an idea for like a like a dramedy that followed these people that were almost like treated the pro wrestlers like stand-up comics, because I mean we have friends that that were either writers on for WWE or were pro wrestlers, and it is a fascinating community, man. Like, and it's like it's dog shit pay until it's not, and even when you get the call up to the WWE, it's still nothing until you're like you get the heels and you get the
my
faces.
buddy from Dalton Castle, the Party Peacock.
Dalton's so
he's a
funny.
Ring of Honor 2-time winner. I mean, man, he's just still constantly just busting his ass doing all that traveling and stuff. And he's probably was making the same amount of money as I was at Yelp.
That's right. Right. But it is like
I'll send him this.
It's it's a labor of love, but oh my gosh, like I was just watching clips of like Rock versus Triple H and like Rock versus Brock Lesnar and just watching Logan Paul, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's just so funny, like where you can suspend disbelief and just think that it's real for a moment.
How are those events still selling? Are they still like?
Yeah, WrestleMania. I mean,
I know that it's had
a
a bit of a resurgence, but like, did it take a big dip the last like 3 years or 4 years?
I'm not sure, but it's interesting to see like Ronda Rousey kind of finding a home there, and seeing a lot.
She's kind of like paying homage to.
Yeah. Oh, she's. Yeah. I mean, she's not. She got hired for some film. They were trying to think that she's gonna be the next action hero,
right?
And then just was like, whatever. But
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Dude, acting's hard.
It's not easy.
I'm still trying to figure
Fun
it
thing
out.
about him. So he, this guy was in a Citibank commercial. Tell him about the Citibank commercial. This was so silly.
It was the back of your head, right? It was just.
It was all my hair.
Yeah.
So the bit was to shave your head, but you're trying to pretend that you were trying to save money by cutting your own hair. So they had a whole bunch of spots that was, you don't have to do all these things to save money. You can blah, blah, blah. And, there was a woman who was squeezing out individual ketchup containers that she stole from a McDonald's or whatever into her ketchup container. And you don't have to do that. Or somebody had like the individual soaps and shampoos from hotels. You don't have to do that. And mine was, I'm just like using my clippers and like shaving, and then I like do this, and then I go green, and I just do a, and it was a one take sort of thing. Yeah. And I mean, right after I did it, the hairdresser, hair and makeup, she's like, well, I'm gonna shave your whole head now, right? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And man, I've got a really well-shaped head, but my hairline is crazy. I've got a widow's peak and a long duck's tail. That's what my mother affectionately called it. I have the same hairline as
We
my
call
mom,
it a
actually.
rat tail here.
Rat tail.
That's
No,
what-
a rat
yeah.
tail's different.
Well, yeah.
A rat tail's like the thing, the braided thing you grow.
Yeah, but
I mean, I could have a sick one if I did that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you would.
It's getting a little long in the back. I mean, I could probably braid it for you if you did it. Then.
Also, this is coming from the person who, when we arrived here, he stopped at his parents' house and his mom gave him a touch up in her salon.
You know how I pay my
Yeah.
mom? How I pay my mom for haircuts? Hugs and kisses.
Kisses,
dude.
yeah.
That's how we do it. Donna
She-
Mine's hair
yeah,
design,
what did
slow
Don-
and straight. What's up?
Donna kisses Jimmy and says, "This is your payment," and then she said, "Or it's my payment."
So cute.
I was like, "What?"
My mom smells like Christmas, dude.
Yeah, she does.
She's
She
just the
does.
best.
She's the cool one.
She's super cool. My dad's cool in my dad's way. You know, like there's just like I don't know. With your parents, like how was your family dynamic? I mean, because my dad was my coach my whole life, very active, traveled a lot of places with my dad. With sports. My mom was the camera person, steady hand. I mean, clearly, could have invented the steady cam, steady hand man, and everything. Football, wrestling, all this stuff, baseball. But I really, my mom's an entrepreneur, and
big time.
I didn't realize again, going back to the whole idea of you're an amalgamation of the people that you grew up with, and just seeing her in the beauty shop, wearing so many hats. I was like, oh my God, that's really cool,
It's weird to be a hairdresser and wear a bunch of hats, but she did it.
Yeah.
She likes the top hat though, man. She will not.
Wears it well.
Yeah, wears it well, But
Well, I do like to ask people this question of what characteristics of your parents do you love that you've taken on, that you've accepted as, this is part of you, and which ones do you hate, but we can only focus on the positive here today. Let's keep it light.
no, let's start with the negative. Let's get real dark.
Well, I mean, we were talking outside before recording and saying, a very familial question you'll get from brothers, sisters, moms, dads is you're just talking to them, just literally just shooting the shit, and they're like, oh, you know what you should do? And you're like, wait, I'm sorry, was my sentence over? Or it's always within the first few seconds where they just know exactly what could help you right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, this is great, but you know what you should do? And you're like, I just walked in the door.
Yeah.
Significant, not significant other, but some family member. I mean, this happens, and this is because people think that they really, really know you in a way that they think that they can help you. But what 99% of the time we're just trying to share and connect. Man, if people could really help us, man, wouldn't that be great? This is where the anger comes in, is because I'm not trying to help you. I'm trying to scream so loud that you forget you exist. And so you get so shook up that your soul splits. You know what you should do?
What should I do?
What should he do?
You know what you should do, Bill?
What should I do?
Nothing, man.
Thank you.
Jimmy, you do nothing, man.
Thank you.
I should definitely do something.
Actually, Jimmy, I do need to tell you something you should do.
Would I have
Dude,
another Stella,
dude,
dude?
less.
Rules of threes,
Dude,
dude.
less.
Rules of three. I actually moved
We're
this
out of
over
Stellas.
here. We are?
We're out of Stellas.
We gotta give that pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we all split a Fiji at this point? I used to call it Phi Jai.
Five.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What neighborhood are you in? You live in Phi Jai.
Oh my gosh, I gotta say, going back to just with Nick, we had there's something that I want to plug. We had worked on together a really cool project. So we got to work on Manhattan Mini Storage.
Yeah, the progression from going from comedy was we got into copywriting together, separately and together.
And people don't know about copywriting. It's writers for ad agencies.
Yeah,
And
advertising in-house or at an agency for brands.
And it's kind of simulates the writer's room of a comedy show, and you have a creative director who's kind of like your showrunner, kind of like helping to merge the collaboration between the art directors and the copywriters, and it's
You work with designers for the art side of it.
and it's incredible. It's an incredible experience if you get the chance to do it. I fell into it randomly, having written you know, a bunch of like sketches and like funny, like, so it's like parodies and stuff. Like I got really lucky and got a call up, you know, around like 2015 to just do some freelance work, and got to like write some stuff that got to be seen in New York City, which was awesome. Like stuff, you know, radio ads,
huge ads, and Jimmy was being paid fucking peanuts.
Oh my God. Nick was always like, you are, do you want to be poor?
If there was one thing that I had always knew, and even when you know, the reason why I didn't mind working at Yelp and getting paid so little is because I knew that if I did any pushback or anything like that, I'd be dropped. So I was just like, well, I'm taking advantage of this because, you know, they'll let me go.
You've printed $10,000 worth of paper for your sketches.
I got my money's worth there. I swear, you know, all the protein bars, just like throwing them in my bag. I would go out to bars and I would tip people in like beef jerky individually wrapped, you know, and they were just like, wow, this is great. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah, I'm like, gotta go do a comedy show.
So much meat sticks.
So many meat sticks. I still do. Love a good meat stick.
Yeah.
We had some road meat sticks.
Did you on the way here?
Yeah, it was great.
We did.
Yeah.
It's great.
But you know, like, to what was
just
I
like vouching for yourself, like just knowing what to. I didn't know what to like, what an hourly rate.
Yeah.
And Nick was always like, dude, like, do you want to?
Well, every job, and if people can do this, if they work in tech or if they work in any other like just industry where you have opportunities to punch up or leave your job and go to a next one, you always need to be asking for more money. You have more experience. These people need you. So every job, and Jimmy and I did do this after we talked about this. Every job we got, we asked for more money. We asked for more money. We asked for more money because, like, you know, the work sells itself. So when they see that you're doing good stuff, you know, Jimmy wrote stuff that was on billboards. You know, what was the Park Fast spot?
Yeah, it was. So there was an so the whole thing is Park Fast, which is owned by Edison Properties, which also owns Manhattan Mini Storage, which is known for their advertising in New York City. There was a thing that was going on where there was like construction work that was happening in New York, and Park Fast wanted people to be able to park in their facility in Secaucus Junction in New Jersey to save some time, right? So the whole angle was like, how can we get people to park, like to drive to Secaucus Junction and take the New Jersey Transit into Manhattan and, you know, give us money and save some time. So again, this is the whole improv. Time reminded me of waiting reminded me of like physical weight because I was developing burn at the time.
Right.
And I was like, lose some weight, but the play on word was WAIT, and so it was like lose some weight this summer.
They ran this ad forever.
It was above the Hoboken. It's above the Holland Tunnel. It was like from going to Manhattan to New Jersey, which is the most depressing.
So
thing.
1 billion people saw it.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah.
Took photos of it, shared online. It was on the
God.
Jersey Turnpike.
People love this shit, and it was a great ad. And you know, Jimmy got paid okay for it, but not like probably not what it was worth.
Yeah.
And the amount of
a bunch of Slim. I was able to buy like a tub worth of Slim.
lot of
you got
beef
paid in Yelp food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so many protein bars, dude. I had
let's
such
just
bad
think about that
GI issues.
that ad campaign that they would have on that billboard. You know, like those things are expensive, super expensive.
Yeah.
You know, and especially in those areas and stuff. So I mean, just the amount of revenue that you probably drove. I'm not saying that you like there's a perfect ratio of what you should get for it, but like, man, you were the one who, exhaled and breathed life into that whole thing and got a lot of people to like consider it, talk about it, you know, the radio ads and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like really know your worth because I'm not saying everybody's good enough. You know, I'm not saying that like, you know, if you're not good enough.
Right.
But when you are crushing it, really know you're good enough and ask for more money because these businesses, especially the ones that have flourished during the last 3 years, man, do they have a surplus of money, and they're ready to throw it at people who are producing awesome shit.
Well, you did that with to give him a alley-oop. I mean, Nick got hired by Nutrafol for which is for like the people know about like with hair hair.
Yeah, it was like it's a natural not natural. They weren't allowed to say all natural because I think like the pill capsules are made out of something that was like touched by a machine.
Natural.
Well,
Right.
it was all natural, but it was processed with a machine. So
it's like
you're
half
not
and
allowed
half.
to say exactly.
And just
it's like
think about
almost natural.
You have these creatives, and we're trying to like just like comedy writers have like I forget what it's called, S&P. Like it's something where they have to run it by like a legal team.
It's basically the quality assurance of
so
comedy
we have
writing,
like essentially
They check
substantiation lawyers
the
are
facts.
like you can't say that, right? And so
Lawyers are writers first, you know.
they're the gatekeepers. They're like okay, that's clever, but like you can't say that, you
Right.
know? So Nick gets hired to be part of this. I mean, Nutrafol had a huge campaign, and a lot of Nick's stuff was like in New York City, and just like even like clever stuff with like how you know, like really thinking about how do you communicate with your customer, especially with like being a CPG brand. And you had this idea of like messaging under the cap.
Yeah,
where
just simple.
It was like growth begins here or some shit. It was just like, like it's so good that you're mad. You're like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And then just like stuff on the, just stuff on the website.
We had a bunch of out-of-home advertising, the website.
OOH stuff.
We had a whole subway takeover. And Jimmy and I were riding the train to go to probably Krav Maga or something.
Krav Maga or
he was like, oh, look.
comedy. I was like,
it was on
there
the
you go.
trains. Yeah, that was fun.
It was so incredible.
But again, not getting paid enough.
And that
It wasn't.
company has
Got $30 million in Series A or whatever,
Yeah.
They were like, well, Nick, we'll pay you $55 an hour. And I was like, what?
I
But
know.
you're hungry.
Yeah.
You're living in an expensive place, or you've got your mortgage, or you've got your family that you're starting. You're just kind of like, yeah, I'll fucking do anything.
I'll do it, yeah.
I'll do anything, and I can't not be doing anything because everybody's just 2 weeks away from losing it all.
Yeah. But we got to work on a really special project that is in just launching now. So one of my burn investors has started a ready to drink canned espresso martini line called Tribini. And he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I want to utilize you and you and people that you've worked with to help really punch up our branding and get us ready for launch. And so I reached out to Nick and a good friend of mine, Kristen Peterman, who actually is from
Great writer
in this area. She's incredible. She's gonna be on the show. She's
super funny.
So fun. Yeah, she's gonna be back.
Kristen, you said?
Kristen Peterman.
Peterman,
Yeah.
Kristen Peterman featuring Jimmy.
Yes, right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And I'll just be on the couch.
Yeah.
We're all coming together.
So we got to work together because Kristen, this was Kristen, one of her first time sort of being in this type of environment, right? And because I've always been enamored by Kristen's writing. I mean, even going to high school, we did musical theater together. She just takes my breath away with just how talented she is with painting pictures with words. And we were just a great thruple, right? Is that a three?
Yep.
Yeah, three
think
people.
so.
Thruple.
Yeah.
Threesome.
I was gonna say we had a great three-way. It was okay.
Three-way.
Yeah.
Tripod.
Tripod. Yeah. And we worked on this together, and it was a couple months, and came up with some good tags for them, and helped with visuals, and helped do their a visual identity and a great campaign, and yeah, they're going to be the next White Claw, man, with espresso martini. So if you don't know what that is, it's, oh my gosh, it's just canned goodness. And they're the only brand that has zero sugar for their options. And they have a thing called Golden Espresso, which is and toasted hazelnut, and another, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed.
Double espresso.
Double espresso, yeah.
Yeah, there was
toasted hazelnut and then Golden Espresso. And they have
they're launching with those three, right?
Yeah. And they have a trifecta pack that you can get. But oh my gosh, I got to try it. It's so great.
Yeah, I haven't tried the Golden Espresso yet. I tried all the other ones.
Yeah.
So is this
They're
available?
good.
Pre-sales now.
You can do pre-sale
How do
right
you buy?
now.
How can someone buy?
Drinktribini.com.
That's right.
TRIBINI.
You can see all of our writing that we did with that.
On
Their
the
social media is good,
Yeah.
and the product's going to be a banger. It's going to be really good. I'm curious to see which one is the one that really takes off. Maybe they all will. Let's hope. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But they tasted good, man. The sugar-free ones are the ones we tried. I'm sure the one that has sugar is going to be fantastic.
Of course,
who
yeah.
doesn't love?
Yeah.
I drank Golden Espresso, which feels more like the espresso martini.
It's probably going to be the flagship one
you would have at the bar. And I just drank it, and I looked at Taylor, one of the CEO and co-founder. I was just like, God damn, dude. You got a winner here. And luckily they had the samples with their pitches, and they raised a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just off to the races right now.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
we gotta reach out to them and see if they'll send us some.
Yeah,
Oh,
get some on
There's
the show
some-
here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah. To plug it out.
I mean, we're all out of drinks here, so I mean, we need something.
That's right.
Keep us
Wait,
awake.
what was the tagline that you wrote, Jimmy?
Oh, your first choice for your second wind. Yeah.
Love it.
And you had like rich in taste, bold in spirit.
That's right.
Yeah, which is on their boxes. Yeah, it's great. But like stuff like that, like things that you'll remember.
That's
like,
super cool.
sound bites, man. That's echoing, like really clever copy goes a long way. And like puns will get you business. I always say this, puns will get you business, but you lose all your friends in the process. Puns are corny when they're said aloud. When you read them on billboards, when you see them in a magazine, or if they're headlined, it just resonates differently, and I see stuff. I mean, I saw something today going picking Nick up in Brooklyn, and there was a incredible for Sprite. It was they had this ad that said new drip, same sip.
Oh man,
For Sprite.
With the new the bottle.
Yeah, they have a more like eco-friendly bottle, and I was
That's
like,
cool.
Wow.
just like that Assonance, Ip and Ip, sip.
if you can get rhyming down to 3 letters too, you're crushing it.
You're,
Because that billboard space, I have a theory that you can't be president if your name is more than 5 letters. Your last name. I mean, like, think about it.
Right. Has there been a junior?
The last 3,
that has-
right? The last 3.
yeah, you're right.
Bill Corcoran Jr.
Grant?
Yeah, running for president, dude.
There we go. There we go. That's it.
Washington. That's way more than 5. Well, he was first, so he doesn't count. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't make the rule yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
I think it has to do with billboards and stuff. It's like if your name's too long, you're not gonna be president.
That's it. Can't do it.
Nope.
That's it.
So ask for more money. Have a short name.
By the way, so this senior copywriter.
Senior copywriter.
So
mug.
so Nick, tell the listeners how that came
Tell the
about.
camera.
Yeah.
All right.
Look right into the camera.
Which one? Yeah, Jimmy and I we're working on this Tribune campaign, and we're both doing our other full-time jobs, and we had been getting very serious about like, man, we really should just like try and do something on our own, start a bit of a faux agency and see where that takes us. And this was testing the waters for that. And man, ego is a crazy thing. I mean, working with your friends is one thing. Working with your family, working with anybody really, it can get intense. Jimmy is a co-owner, and he works with somebody who is basically his brother. It's like you love and hate and all that stuff, and you just everybody wants the best. Jimmy and I are very similar in that regard too. We're basically brothers, and we love and hate each other in different regards, just like a marriage. I think that there's something, I don't know who said it. I think it was Conan O'Brien said something about marriages and things like that, where it's like the amount of love and the amount of like wanting to kill each other is like always at the peak, but not that serious. It's just kind of like the intensity of it. And there was just a moment where like ego got in my way big time, and I just got really mad. And I was just mad. I was just mad at like the what I thought the work that Jimmy was producing, and I was just like, do you know who I am? Like something like that. I was like, I'm a senior copywriter. And so in the mail the next day, Jimmy had sent me
Comes that mug.
Amazon Prime. Thank you.
Amazon Prime
Yeah.
me that mug
Yeah.
just to remind me of how much of an asshole I was. We were getting the work done. We were doing a good job. We were just really stressed because we are already so busy, and we added this thing on just to challenge ourselves, and we were successful. But man, like, what the hell are we doing? We don't know what we're doing. And that's also another thing, is nobody knows what they're doing. Just like keep trying stuff.
Yeah, nobody ever knows what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
We're all just figuring it out.
We were telling you
Yeah.
like we're like, what the hell are you doing, Bill? Like,
I know.
you
You guys rolled up here and I was still painting walls.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like this
Yeah.
wasn't, nothing was set up.
The pizza
like,
wasn't here.
It was, yeah. When I brought it, it was cold.
The pizza's good, man.
Yeah.
But that was just like a playful reminder of like, and we've done that. We've put each other in check, which I think is like why,
I'm so grateful that you were able to laugh it off and make a joke out of it. Like that's high skill right there. Because you could have matched me. You could have raised your voice with me. But instead you were just like,
Senior copywriter mug.
My brother.
Yeah, got him.
My sweet
Got
brother.
you.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
But he's doing some awesome stuff for Credit Karma right now, and
I'm a senior copywriter for them.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hold that mug up with a pinky up. Pinky
That's
up.
right.
Pinky up.
Yeah.
Oh, my writing hand.
So if you see anything that's cool with Karma, Credit Karma, Nick's
Yeah,
Nick is
actually,
keen to be a part of it.
I can't talk too much about this, so I will. But
Say it anyway.
we're working on potentially either it will be around a big sporting event with a football,
Wink, wink.
Okay.
with someone we talked about earlier today.
Winky, winky.
That's it. That's all I'll give you.
That's it. Okay. All right.
And when you see it, you'll be like, oh,
That's it.
it was that.
Sigourney Weaver. No.
In Alien 1 through 4. 4? How many were there? There was 3 and then Resurrection. Sorry.
So incredible.
Sorry, Sigourney. Yo, oh my God. All right. Real quick story about Sigourney Weaver, just because I have to. Dr. David White was a philosophy professor at St. John Fisher College who was a tenured professor, and he just didn't give a fuck. He was I think he taught basic logic, which is a really, you know how much I love logic.
Yeah.
Tell the listeners out there.
Both the rapper and the principal in philosophy.
He basically just had us teach the class. And so I remember stepping up and being like, all right, well, I'll open up the textbook and I'll read some of this to the class. And everybody was like, boo, get off and we ended up watching Dexter the whole semester. We watched Dexter. And then on the last day of class, or it was the first one, I can't remember. It was hard to remember because it was just a lot of Dexter. But he decided to read some poetry that he had written, and he wrote a poem that was about a fantasy he had about getting a blowjob from a Denny's waitress behind a dumpster. And then he had another poem where he talked about how his celebrity crush was Sigourney Weaver.
Oh my God.
So whenever anybody brings up Sigourney Weaver, I think of all of that.
Oh my God.
And everybody else that listens to this will do the same.
God, that's so
He's reading a poem. He's like, and I got the blowjob behind the Denny's parking lot dumpster, but it was no Sigourney Weaver. I'm Dr. David White. Thank you. I'm tenured, so you can't kick me out. Buy my book. It's who did he write about? He wrote about Bertrand Russell. No, who did he write about?
Is Bertrand Russell Burt Russell's
Burt Russell, Kurt Russell's cousin.
Oh my gosh. Did you feel
Oh
good?
my God.
Do you feel good of having 2 guests at one time? 2 guests, one
Dude,
one
how long
host?
have we been going?
It's been about 6 hours, I think.
6 and
When
a half.
did we start?
2:00 this afternoon, I thought.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah,
we reached the day where this airs. We're still recording somehow.
Yeah, so somehow we're still. Yeah, no, this has been a cool first episode in this new studio,
Yeah.
and
I'm really proud of your craftsman. I'm not actually proud. You probably didn't do that. Did you do that?
I did
that.
some of it.
Wow,
I did
that's
some of it.
great.
A friend, Chloe, painted it for me because I was just out of time.
Does Chloe have a business?
Chloe,
She's got paint.
Chloe just does some side hustle stuff, you
Cool.
know.
Shout out to Chloe.
Shout out to Chloe, yeah. But my aunt helped me with it. My aunt Carolyn. By the way, my aunt Karen helped me with a lot of stuff in here.
Karen or Carolyn?
Carolyn.
Cool.
So
Shout down Carolyn.
yeah, the floor in the front office there. Her and I did that together.
No
Mostly
way.
her. I just kind of pushed buttons.
Dad's
What is she-
sister,
is she a-
mom's
a
sister?
My
contractor?
dad's sister. No,
Dad's
she
sister.
just is very handy.
No way,
and
that's
yeah, she
awesome.
just does a lot of handy stuff. And yeah, so when I was telling her about some of the trying to just save a few bucks on after the $1 million I spent here, I was
Right.
like, how can I save a few pennies? And she's like, she kept offering to help, and I'm just like, I just felt bad out taking
Right.
taking
And then
these
at a
times.
certain point, you're like, yeah, I'll take you
I'm
up
like,
on
okay,
it.
yeah,
I'll take you up on it.
you've offered 3 times. Okay,
You're
yeah, I'll take
really
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she helped me with that floor, and then also helped me with the bathroom, and
Right.
Good bathroom. It flushes.
it flushes now.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
No door yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like leaning. So when you got to go, you should lean
Just
the door.
do the gypsy the beads.
Yeah, we're
Just
still
just do
okay.
The,
Yeah,
just do that.
Yeah,
We don't say
Yeah.
gypsy anymore.
Do the beads.
the beads. Yeah, so we're still partially under
Canceled.
construction here, but the studio's set up, and
Right.
Yeah, man, it's just been it was a cool.
You feel settled? You feel settled in?
Yeah.
What if
I
the
feel-
gypsies
I
come
feel-
after your podcast?
Oh
now?
Oh my
gosh.
god, we're done.
It's over.
I'm just gonna cancel.
What's his
Actually,
name?
I'll just
What's his
cancel
name
this episode.
from the
Borat?
boxer?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Borat.
Tyson Fury.
Oh yeah. Oh, like
I've been listening to you on the stacks, and I'm gonna give you a smacks.
It's gonna happen.
I don't know.
it's so good. That's good. It rhymes. Man with
It's
words.
the bullpen.
Oh my god, it's so silly. Yeah, hopefully you'll have You'll have clips of Yorkville and Bullpen and so. Oh my god, there's another one. What it was the it was called Untangled,
Oh yeah,
and my dad was like, "This is the best sketch ever."
dude. I saw an Untangled going viral on Instagram the other
See,
day.
we just didn't
Doing basically your sketch.
Yeah, just ahead of the time.
Dude, you know.
Ahead of the time, dude. 29 views.
Crazy. Poor guy.
We got to get you in a sketch. We'll do something.
All right, one of these days.
You put stuff out there, man. We can remix it a little bit. And if there's anybody else that's looking for help with punching up copy, man, like we got two powerhouses
It's right here.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And if you need a copy of 50 Cent's
50
new
Cent.
album
Right here. Right here.
I can't. I still
I'm
can't.
gonna-
and a Pop-Tart.
Dude, like, yeah,
Oh my
Pop Tarts, like anything.
I
And
want-
I had like all kinds of like the crumb cakes, whatever the hell all
Oh
those
my
things
god!
are.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
those are
god!
good.
Tasty
Everything.
cakes,
Dude,
dude.
I-
Oh my
Testy
god!
cake.
Tasty cakes.
Yeah, testicle cakes. Yeah, dude, I sold like
There's
all
a
kinds of
ballsy
yeah.
move with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you, like, what type of Pop-Tart was it? Was it with a frosting?
Yeah, it was like a
Strawberry.
strawberry or a blueberry.
Okay, so you had frosting. But
Yeah, what's
it was-
the
or
snack,
the
what's the
plain
snack
one.
situation at home now?
At home now, not too much.
Yeah.
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 Because you sold it all.
Isn't
I
it crazy?
did.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
in high
crazy that
school
we
I
would
got-
just eat that poison every single
Yeah,
day? Like,
yeah.
It was just totally fine. It's like,
Well, what's your kid snacking on?
I don't know, healthy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like vegetables and,
Graham
and
crackers and
fruits
stuff.
and.
well, from what your wife told me, when
That's
you
right.
were-
When you guys, when I was
yeah,
here and you guys
yeah,
were
exactly,
talking.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The best slices of pizza.
Yeah,
in,
just
in
eating a
Northeastern
ton of
PA.
pie.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, man. Thank you for letting us snarf down some Stella's and some Shelley's Pizza.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shelley's Pizza.
Shelley's Pizza here
Super
in,
delicious.
in
Yeah.
Kingston.
Well, I think it's technically Luzerne, but
Luzerne.
it's only like
Yeah,
like
it's
a
not too
2-minute
far
drive
away.
from there.
Support Shelley's Pizza. I mean, support.
Support
Support
Shelley's Pizza.
Say, Shunny.
But it's always nice to be back. We're gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna live in the other room here.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
You can live in here. I mean that pulls out to a bed.
Does it really?
that's
Is this a
what?
fold out?
That's actually a fold out.
Get out of here.
I mean, I think both of you might be able to fit on there.
Oh, we've slept in.
We
We've slept
definitely
in
can.
smaller. Yeah.
So, yeah.
We have this one sketch called Judo Know Me.
Judo
and-
Know Me, dude.
And it was. I mean, that's a wild sketch. It'll give you a headache.
Yeah.
We do some weird stuff in that sketch.
It won't. No, I don't think it's not really like a headache. It's like a heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker. Yeah. You go through a whole series of like emotions in that little sketch with us. And there's no speaking. There's no word. It's just all actions.
Oh, I want to go.
Interesting.
There was one thing I wanted to say. I know we're trying to wrap this up, but there was one thing that I wanted to piggyback off of when you were talking about like what yes and means, and I think that it's kind of hard to explain this to the masses who are not super familiar with comedy or that thing or like
the millions of
read about
people
it.
listening to this podcast.
But
Yes.
but like the thing about yes and is it's the basically the opposite of rejecting and stopping a moment, and I feel like I'll kind of going back to talking about like parents and family and relationships where anybody kind of pops in with the you know what you should do. You know what you should do is basically like the opposite of a yes and.
You're right.
It's just stopping the scene moving forward. It's hijacking. It's just like halting instead of listening and like anding what they say. Like if you were to fully listen to what people are saying and then say yes and then you can say you should do. But say it in a certain way. The way that people interact that I've noticed that where couples get super frustrated or business partners or things like that is there's a constant stop in it in the what I'm doing right now the flow where there's a bit of resistance or just like the fear in where it's going, just like I don't know, man, you know what you should do or what we should do, or it's the way when people don't yes and it usually is rooted in insecurity and fear.
Right.
And so a huge way to just like party on with conversation is to yes and the reality of whatever madness people are talking about. Because
if I was to be like, if I was in a scene with Nick and I initiated, right, and I was like, Steve, Dad's coming home in like 5 minutes. We have to hide all the gushers.
yes, we do. Because if we don't hide all the gushers, Dad will see them.
And he's a dentist, and he told us we can't get one more cavity in this, this month, or we're going to get in trouble.
Yes, and we can't get in trouble again because the last time we got in trouble, we got spanked. Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if that. I don't know if that exactly sent home the point, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Also, the first yes and I did was yes because.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. No,
but it's a fun way of life. I think everybody needs to just I think everybody should embrace being able to step outside their comfort zone, and I think a lot of corporations have corporate training for improv, and if you work at a big business, ask your manager if they have like those things that you can take part of, or if you're in a city that has like improv, like go see it, support it. It's just a really fun. It's a really great way of life to be able to be,
and those skills bring joy, and that's what I mean about the having these moments of resistance with not yes-anding. You don't have to yes-and everything. If somebody jokingly like throws a gun on stage, a gun or a dildo or something, you don't have to fuck it. You don't have to shoot yourself in the head, but you can yes-and that situation. You don't have to do what you do with a dildo. Right. We all know.
Right.
Yeah.
We all know.
Throw it in the garbage.
You dispose of it.
So.
That's my real takeaway from today. For 3 hours of talking.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't resist. Take the dill.
That's right.
Take the dill.
That's right. Take the dill.
Yo, shout out to Shelly's Pizza again.
Yeah, take the dill, dude. No big deal, dude. No big deal. No big deal.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Thank you for thanks for all the. I mean, dude, you were so. I mean, you're.
Yeah.
You were you, man.
Love.
You did it.
Yeah. So before we end, though, I want to ask you like a serious question, Nick.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
This is really a serious question. You're probably thinking it's a joke, right?
Yeah.
What is it about comedy for you? Why comedy?
Oh my goodness. I think the first time that I ever like made a small group laugh, I was like, oh, this is a superpower. And this is something that I immediately knew like I had a little bit in my wheelhouse. I was little. I think I was, I was like 9. Between the ages, God, I don't remember. Between the ages of like 9 and 10, my grandfather on my dad's side just died, James. And James was like a real fucking son of a bitch. World War II vet, dentist, orthodontist, president of the orthodontistry in Rochester. He was, he's in like fucking Normandy fixing people's blasted faces off, and he came back, and he just didn't get off of my grandma Betty. He was just cranking out jizz, cranking out my family. Well, like this, but this is it. Like when you could talk like this.
His words, not yours.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
Yeah.
But he was mean, and so my dad's one of 8, and so we're hanging out in our like the back of the house, shucking some corn. I remember this, man. He's alive at this point. Yeah. Sitting with his dead body, shucking some corn.
Oh my God.
And so the back porch.
I'm
phallic.
I'm fucking 7 years old, little kid, and I'm not shucking very well because I'm just hanging with my grandpa. It's like probably a cool breeze touched my neck, and I got distracted. He took my hand, put it on the table, and took a piece of corn and smashed my hand. Scared the shit out of me. I freaked out. Nobody's ever parented me like that, but that's how he parented. And I ran in the house crying, and then my dad brought me back out after I relaxed and cooled off, and told Grandpa, told his dad James, he was like, that's not how we do this. It's not how we do this. If if one of the kids are not doing what you like, you don't hit them. These are our kids. Blah 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 blah. Parents, kids parenting their parents, and my grandpa just stared at him and was like, "Get me a scotch and soda," sort of like reaction. Like he asked for that, and then my dad made me bring it to like have like this brave moment. I told that story at his funeral. That whole story, maybe without the jizz part, but like I swear to God, it was a real like everybody was like, yeah, James was a fucking he was tough.
Right.
And, he raised us and he paid for everything, but man, was the trade-off was hard. And then so have a 9-year-old me tell this story, everybody laughed. And it was so lighthearted, and then like the after party was like really fun. And I there was just something about like changing a mood, getting everybody away from like the whatever uncomfortable moment is going on in people's life. That's why comedy for me is no matter what's going on, you can find the funny. Like the most taboo, torturous stuff. I really do think that you can turn to your brother or sister or whoever's next to you and just be like, whatever, man. And you're like in Guantanamo Bay. But it's funny. Because because why comedy?
That's right.
Guantanamo Bay's not funny, dude.
You know what is funny? Nick flexing his gold chain, and he literally,
It's not
Look
real.
at this guy.
It's not real. This is real.
And then on the neck.
This isn't real.
Yeah. But the love is.
Mr. T over here.
I had 2 Stellas.
But that's a good question. That's a very good question. It's
He didn't ask you, Jimmy. He asked me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we'll answer it though too. Go ahead.
I'm just kidding.
No, I echo what my friend Nick says.
He's a senior copywriter.
Nah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
When was the first time that you made like a group laugh? Still waiting on it.
Still waiting for it. Still waiting for that moment.
It was 29 on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 29 people were like,
Hey,
okay.
Well, no, this is it because you're my dad's pretty funny, and my mom is I wouldn't say my mom's funny, but my mom's like a really deep thinker, writer and stuff, and she does things that like will surprise you that are funny.
Yeah.
But like my mom will be, as I said, like publishing 130 poems while being a professor at 2 places, and the things that make her laugh are people getting like bonked on the head with like an oar. She's just like, and then she's like writing like metaphors that just blow your mind. You're like, so what's going on up there?
yeah.
What does comedy mean to you? We'll end with you answering that question.
Comedy.
Focusing on you.
Yeah, man. I think just, kind of sort of piggyback off of what Nick said, but I've always kind of been like almost like that class clown too, myself, just like as a kid. And I don't know. I think just making people smile. Like I know as simple as that sounds.
That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just always like, how could I make somebody feel better about themselves? Mm-hmm. And I think comedy is the best form of medicine. Laughter is the best form of medicine. I know it's so cliche, but it's the truth. Like it really, really is. Like no matter what's going on in your life, if you can't laugh about the situation, you'll go insane.
There's sometimes, I mean, just like people say, like in musical theater, the whole justification of like, why are they singing right now is that the feelings that they're feeling are so profound, they have to express it through song. There's something about laughter where in the most troubling of times, that is just like it's almost a call out to, it's a form of expression to help unite people together.
Yeah. Right.
In a common feeling. And, I think you can find humor.
It makes the mood better. It makes bad situations better.
It recalibrates.
Morale builder.
Because I got to tell you, it's just like to have everybody in unison acknowledging the same thing. It is such a profound moment that I wish more people can experience, both as audience members and also like the one that's delivering that moment to other people. It's an inimitable feeling.
Totally.
Just like getting a burnt CD from 50 Cent,
From me in high school, yeah. I was bootlegging lots of CDs.
Well, Bill, man, thank you for having us on the podcast.
Wow, this has been great. No, seriously, I appreciate you guys making the trip in from Brooklyn and Jersey.
We're not going to do it again unless you'll pay for the
unless there are 2
I
more
already
beers
paid you
each
for this.
time.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes.
I got the Venmo.
Yeah.
Sorry, the $500.
I got the he
That's right.
Zelled me and Venmo'd.
The one time that Conor
Cash
McGregor
App.
lost to Floyd Mayweather, you Venmo request me like $29,000.
I Venmo requested
What's wrong with you, dude?
the purse that they were fighting
purse,
for.
yeah.
It was
Oh
like
my
some
God.
crazy amount of money. I was like,
insane.
Jimmy declined it.
I did.
I couldn't imagine
jerk.
what would happen if you accepted it.
Yeah. What I'm charging as a copyright, there's no way I have that money.
Oh, that's right. I know.
Exactly. But yeah, can we plug some of our stuff right here?
Yeah, go ahead.
You
Where
cool with
can
that?
where
Yeah,
can
Nick,
people
passing it to
find you
man.
guys
Hey, Jimmy,
online?
what do you got going on?
So what I got going on? So yeah, like again, co-founder Burn. Follow the company, theburn.com, THEBRRN. Happy to be a sponsor of this show.
Use code STACKS15.
That's right, Stacks 15. Both Nick and Bill have a burn board.
That's right.
And their lower body looks so good. I mean, you should see their
Oh
leg.
my God, yeah.
We're
Too bad we
strong.
can't see our
Legs
legs underneath
for
this
days.
table, but like,
But we got some really exciting stuff for the company coming up. So Q4, big selling season, having people move with more joy and less pain through lateral movement training. So at Burn BRRN on Instagram, and personally at Jimmy T Martin on Instagram. Follow.
send the DMs.
Send the DMs.
Slide into my DMs.
Slide in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
DMs.
Yeah, please come to King Mother and support my wife's wonderful restaurant. You're going to have a great time. Delicious natural wine, biodynamic wine, organic wine, and Mediterranean cuisine. Great for small parties, great for families. It's in Ditmas Park, Brooklyn. And yeah, you won't be let down.
It's so good.
I guarantee. No.
And the merch is cool too. The hats,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
totes. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
look on some of the close-ups of my hat when it's facing forward. We got Frank and Maggie. It's a hot dog dancing with a glass of wine.
Do you have it right there?
Frank is the hot dog, and Maggie's the magnum of wine.
Spin it around. Let's see it.
Oh,
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See him dancing?
Love it.
And for me, yeah, just follow me on Top Derp. I might get back into social media.
Yeah.
I might not.
Yeah.
I have been known to make a funny video or 7. But I'm I gotta figure out, maybe I'll start like uploading videos of me walking the walk, talking the talk with
think you
watching like Ren and Stimpy on
That's
my
right.
DVD
Yeah.
player while washing dishes. It'll just be like really weird object work. I don't know, guys.
If you have ideas, just DM
Yeah,
Top Derp
please,
on
please,
Instagram.
guys, let me know what I should be doing.
There you go.
There it is.
You know what you should be doing, Nick? Let me know in the comments.
let us know on YouTube. Comment on the
Amazing.
video.
Well, one more. I know
All
that
right,
we're empty,
yeah,
but just
we're-
a cheers
Oh my
to
God,
go.
yeah. Cheers. Oh, we gotta get all of them in there.
Just the tips.
Jimmy can't pick up his 27,000
my
bottles.
shirt's a little tight.
Yeah.
We drank the same amounts.
All
All right.
right. This is it, guys.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Great work, Bill.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. All right. Nick Tonery featuring special guest Jimmy T. Martin
Yeah.
Boom.
on the Stacks podcast in the Blue Door Studio. Thanks for joining me.
You got it, brother.